And Lily Mooney will be singing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets right where the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Lily Mooney.
Good evening and welcome, football fans. For another edition of Friday Night Lights here on NBC Watertown, we have the South Louis Falcons taking on the Thousand Islands Vikings in a little bit of eight-man football for this evening. I'm your play-by-play man, Tyler Clemens, alongside Zach Zabriskie on the call, providing the color commentary. Like I said, eight-man football tonight for this Frontier League matchup. South Louis versus Thousand Islands. A little bit different of some rule sets here. The field's a little bit more narrow, a little bit shorter. The formations are going to be a little bit different, but otherwise it's football like we all know and love.
And don't let it fool you. A narrow field does not mean there's not going to be explosive plays. There's still a lot of room on that field.
Yeah, eight-man football actually known for high scoring, known for explosive plays like you said, and we got a couple of awesome teams here in the North Country. Let's start off with South Louis. As I get the rosters all set up here. Actually, let's start with Thousand Islands here. Thomas Bernhardt going to be the leader for the on the passing attempts here. He has over 1,000 yards passing this year. Also going to be dropping back as a defensive back as well. He's really a 1-2 punch as well, with the leading the team in rushing at 744 yards on the year. For the South Louis Falcons, a little bit of a different story. We have Maxwell Sampson, who has 290 yards through the air, and Damian Koff, who has 613 yards rushing this year for the Vikings.
Like you said, explosive plays lead to a lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns, and that's some pretty good stats on the year. Not something you really see in 11-man football.
Before we get started here, let's give a shout-out to our sponsors, as this would not be possible without the commitment from our local businesses. As always, Bob Johnson Auto is going to be the overall sponsor for tonight's game, tonight's live stream, I should say. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, new or used, it does not matter. Bob Johnson has your ride. With $5 car washes on Fridays, you can catch them. Bob Johnson really across the entire state, but locally you can find him right there on Washington Street in Watertown. Also, SRT Restaurant Solutions is a key sponsor for tonight's live stream. Clean kitchens, full shelves, better prices. Finally, a restaurant supply store here in Watertown. That's SRT Restaurant Solutions and CCOM Credit Union. CCOM on Route 3 across from the Target Plaza for all your banking needs. You can find CCOM in Watertown. Also, many other locations across the North Country. That's Seacom Credit Union.
None of this would be possible without them. I mean, it helps put the streams on, gets these games, these local games to you.
Yeah, and this live stream, this whole initiative is about promoting local athletics here as an onside kick right off the start. And we have the referee pointing that it's going to be South Louis ball, even though Thousand Islands is celebrating. Did it go 10 yards?
I believe it did go 10 yards.
The near official is pointing that it's going to be South Louis ball, but
Seems like every other ref is.
is lining up for Thousand Islands. I couldn't see why, or I couldn't imagine why Thousand Islands wouldn't have the ball, but I'm kind of working off the referee here on the near side. Regardless, it looks like it's going to be Vikings football to start things off.
And in a game with explosive offenses, getting the ball one more time could mean the game.
Right, and especially right off the jump, too. So now you're going to get to start each half, you're going to get the ball to start both sides, which is really, a key part of this game. Bernhard takes the keeper. He's going to get about 9, I'll say, and it'll be 2nd and 1.
That was just a quick keeper up the middle. Holes opened up. I mean, there's going to be a lot of holes. It's going to be a lot of one-on-one action in a game like this.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we got 8-man football here. It's not the full 11, so there's going to be some more open areas for both teams to operate on offense. We have in motion Cole Bryant, the freshman, to the right side. It's going to be a rush up the middle with Caden Spies, the senior, standing at 6 foot, 181 pounds. He's going to truck along for a first down. And that's going to move the chains.
Got to point out something else as well. That onside kick attempt, the formation was very condensed. You don't usually see that as well. We were able to put a lot of men on the ball.
Yeah,
pretty much surround it.
That little bit of confusion, I think. South Louis expected to go deep, and instead it was only about 12 yards down the field. First pass of the game. He's open, down the field, caught, and that'll be the first score of the game. Seth Fulton, the junior tight end, he hauls in the pass, and that's going to be 6 points for the Thousand Islands Vikings.
They just turned on the burners and didn't have a chance. Here, get a look at the replay right here.
Yeah, as we watch that play action pass, we saw 3 straight runs to start the game. First pass goes deep right down the field, and that's a huge touchdown for Seth Fulton. And we're going to get a 2-point conversion here. Another pass attempt, not looking promising for the home team. That's a big sack.
Absolutely swallowed behind the line.
I believe that was Connor Carpenter in there for South Louis. So 6-0 remains the score with 10 minutes and 47 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play.
I guess that's how you want to start the game off. You're supposed to be kicking off. You end up with 6 points on the board. You can't imagine a better start than that.
Right, and now you know in your back pocket you're going to have the ball coming back to you at the start of the second half as well. So if you're South Louis here, how do you defend, or how do you plan for this kickoff, knowing that they already have a play already planned for an onside kick? Are they going to run it again, or are they going to kind of hold on to it for later in the ball game?
I'd be ready for it right now. I mean, if it worked once, I wouldn't be too. I mean, you've already got 6 points on the board. Might as well try it again.
I mean, with 8-man, with so many points, right, being scored, I mean, it's not so unusual to get scores in the 50s, the 60s. I've seen scores in the 70s here for 8-man. So, it's worth taking that risk, right? It's really just all about trying to get the ball being on offense.
Looks like a more traditional kick here. Fake the onside. Still went for it.
They went for the onside, and that's going to be recovered by South Louis this time. As Robert Daly corralling the ball and keeping possession for the away team. So the first possession here for South Louis, a little delayed than what they thought it was going to be, but nonetheless, they'll take possession 10 minutes and 46 seconds in the first quarter.
Senior night as well for Thousand Islands, something to add to note. Got a lot of pink going on out here. I'm not quite sure what all the pink's for, but...
Well, October Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
That's what it is.
Yeah. The NFL used to have an initiative that was centered around the crucial catch. They don't do that as much at the NFL as they used to. I'd like to see that come back. I'd like to see the high schools individually put together their own initiatives. First play for South Louis was about an 8-yard gain. And it'll be second down and around 2 as the clock continues to run. Different formation here for South Louis. One to the right, but still pretty close to the line. Rush right up the middle, and he is gone. A lot of speed there for Davian Coffin. That's going to be a touchdown for South Louis, as I don't see any flags on that play. And score is evened up, 6-6.
And within 2 plays, you see another touchdown. A hole just opened up here. Couldn't quite tackle him and turned on the burners.
Yeah, I mean, you could have drove a truck through that lane there. That was wide open, right up the middle. One quick cut, and he was gone into the end zone. So point after attempt with a similar formation as the touchdown score. Looks like we're going to get a pass attempt to the right side, and wide open, and that is a good conversion for South Louis. So unlike Thousand Islands, South Louis converts, gets the 2-point conversion. 8-6 is going to be the score, and we'll see if South Louis has an onside kick opportunity, or they're going to send it deep.
Starting to feel like college football overtime rules. Feel like each team's going to get a chance to score right here in the 50, the 40, and go for 2.
Folks, just a reminder that SRT Restaurant Solutions is Watertown's one-stop restaurant shop. They also specialize in hood and kitchen cleanings. Call them, 315-767-0160. That's SRT Restaurant Solutions, and NBC Watertown thanks them for sponsoring tonight's live stream and allowing us to put on this production for you as you were viewing at home. As a reminder, every Friday night, NBC Watertown puts on a new game throughout the regular season, and we'll continue to do so as far as we can in the postseason. South Louis kicking it away. This one's going to be a big boot. No need for an onside kick here. It is corralled by Thousand Islands. That'll be Cole Bryant taking the right side and swarmed by about 3 or 4 Falcons, and now Thousand Islands will have their worst field position for the of the game so far, back to about the in between the 25 and the 20.
I think this might be the first time we see a team start on their own side of the field.
Yeah, right? I mean, they're going to have to go a long way, theoretically, a long ways, I guess, for 8-man football, as the field's a little bit more condensed here.
Yeah, see, the out of bounds are actually right near the numbers, not quite to the outside white line.
Snap goes a little wild, and I think they blew that play dead, but the ball looked a little live there. And a little bit of confusion on the field now.
Well, they've lost the snap, got fumbled.
I mean, Bernhardt looked to have gotten on top of it. And I think we got a whistle there, but as the whistle went off, he went to dive on the ball again. So there was like 2 attempts where I think the ball was still live. Refs blew the play dead at around the point after mark, like maybe at the 2-yard line. And now this drive got a little bit longer for Thousand Islands. Bernhardt's going to keep it. Gain a few yards, not enough by a long shot.
Yeah, I think when that initial snap happened, the quarterback was able to dive on it around the 2-yard line, but then maybe got startled a bit by the whistle and fumbled it again.
Fumbled it again? I mean, he jumped on it again, but this time he was in the end zone, so that's kind of a big play. I'm surprised he didn't get more opposition from the South Louis side. That could have been 2 points.
Well, I think when he dived on that ball, I think he's down.
He had it
there.
long enough, you think?
Yeah. Oh.
Bernhardt with a keeper again. Going to try the left side, and he's not going to go far. Damian Koff on the tackle.
That should bring up 4th down. We'll see what they choose to do here.
I mean, I think you got to punt it. First down is in the next county. They have to get all the way to the 35-yard line to convert.
Be a terrible spot to put the opponent.
Yeah, I mean, that'll be the best field position we've seen if they don't convert here.
This is something I won't quite get used to. 3 people at the line getting ready to protect the punt. Got him to jump.
Got a little bit of a an offsides. No, they got false start. So that's going to push Thousand Islands back even further. This drive just went from bad to worse here for the home team.
South Louis really doesn't have anybody too deep. don't think they have anybody back there. Got blocked at the line.
And Thousand Islands tries to get it out of the end zone. They're not going to. And that's going to be a safety for South Louis. Big play. A block on the punt. You kind of saw that coming a little bit, though, right? As it kept moving back further, they just didn't have enough room to get that punt away.
I mean, it's hard enough with about 5 people at the line. At the NFL level, you only got 3 people blocking 4 guys. And that should be 2 points, yep.
So 2 points for South Louis. 10-6 is the score. So Thousand Islands got off to a hot start. Since then, you're trying to kind of find their way here at home on their senior night. What does Thousand Islands have to do to kind of right the ship here a little bit? No pun intended.
Well, I mean, the first drives for both teams were kind of one-play touchdowns in a way, where both of them were about 40, 50-yard passes, runs. I think you just got to put together a good defensive series here. Keep them out of their end zone, and then you can go around and score, and the score will be back you in the lead.
So it looks like Thousand Islands is going to elect to still kick off here from the ground. I mean, at this point, what's the difference from kicking it away to doing an onside kick? The difference of maybe 30 yards? Do you think they just try it here and hope for the best?
Feels a little bit close to try it here. If they do recover the onside kick, they'll be at their own 30.
A little bit of a fake from Thousand Islands. Now T.I. approaches the ball.
There we go.
That's a big boot. It's going to land at around the 47-yard line, and the away team elects to just jump on it at the 45.
That's what you needed. Get the ball over to their side of the field.
And now play defense.
Play some
Strong
defense
here. I think it's going to be tough for T.I. to get South Louis into a situation where they're going to elect a punt. The way that I see this offense here for South Louis, they're pretty confident in picking up some big chunk plays. I think it's got to be 4th and long for South Louis to even think about a punt. If it's 4th and 7 even, I think South Louis might try it.
You're going to want to stop in the backfield at least once or twice.
And to get 4 straight stops against a team like South Louis is going to be very difficult. That mission accomplished on first down, though, as South Louis stopped behind the line. No running room for Damian Koff, who scored the first touchdown for the away team. It'll be 2nd down and around 13.
Yeah, everything was plugged there. Didn't have any room to wiggle. Got him well before the line. More of a power formation here. Nobody out wide.
Yeah, quarterback with a running back to his left. The shotgun snap gets handed off to Nolan Widrick, who's going to try the left side. Has some running room, a good spin move, and sheds a tackler. Gang tackle here at around the 49-yard line, and it'll be 3rd down.
Like you said, I think they're in 4-down territory now.
Yeah, I mean, just the way that South Louis has operated so far, I just don't see them being, more apt to punt the ball away if it's not a 4th and long situation. I think even like you said, right now, if it remains at that, 4th and 7 or so, I think they still try for it. One man to the right and one man to the left here. A fake on the handoff, a lefty throw, incomplete. With no flag on the field, that will bring up 4th down. So now we'll see if we have some broadcasters jinx here, if they go for it or not.
Ball thrown well behind him, but I think that was probably the best case scenario. That he was covered well.
Looks like a punt formation for the away team, so I guess we didn't have the correct intuition to start things off.
This is good we're not the coaches.
Big boot, high in the sky, lands at around the 26-yard line, takes a favorable bounce for the Vikings. It comes to rest somewhere around the 28-yard line.
Now, I'm going to make a claim here that I'm not 100% is true, but if I remember correctly from last year, I don't know if they're allowed to have punt returners. I think they have to let the ball roll out.
Gotcha. That makes more sense.
They don't
want free shot on the punt returner because you don't have the blockers out there, right? I mean, you don't have all the staff out there to kind of properly defend that play. That makes sense. So now T.I. will try to take the lead here. One man in motion, and it's a handoff. Switches fields, comes back the left side. Good juke move. And that looks to be enough for a first down.
And just some nice rerouting there from the running back.
That was Caden Spies, the 6-foot senior, running back and linebacker combo for the home team. As you said before here, senior night as the fans are starting to pile in on the near side. The away side, we talked about it before the live stream, but didn't really get a chance to talk about a pregame. Long trip here for South Louis. I wondered if that was going to be a bit of an issue to start things off. Turns out, they've opened up the game pretty well. But sometimes with those long trips, you get a little bit of lag, right? You don't start off as well as you typically would at home, or if you had a 20-minute drive up the road. This is about 2 hours for them to get from South Louis to TI here.
Yeah, and bus rides, I mean, you're cramped in there a little bit. Those stretches at the beginning of the game are real important when you sit on a bus for that long.
Yeah, and you just kind of lose, you don't get as psyched, right? Because you get really excited to get on that bus, and then you get an hour into that ride, and you're like, oh, are we there yet? Like, let's get there. Let's start this game. And then you got another hour to go. So I think South Louis is starting to kind of get into the flow of the game here. As, TI got that onside kick, got the early touchdown. Now South Louis is starting to play ball.
I mean, it's a lot easier when you get a good stop on defense. You feel like your team's starting to come together a little bit. No one likes to give up a safety, but just put together a good drive, one play at a time. Not every play needs to be a 40-yard touchdown.
Speaking of a good drive, Thousand Islands is putting one on here. Hand off to Spies up the middle, and he is going to get some positive yards. It's a good first down play, about 3 or 4, and it'll be second down. TI moving the ball down the field little by little here. No big chunk play, but, good positive plays all the way down the field.
And that's all you need to get a drive going.
We got 2 running backs here next to the quarterback in the shotgun formation, 1 man in motion. And a lot of movement on the line. I got to imagine that's going to be a false start.
Yeah, coach doesn't look too happy, so.
It's the second time we've seen the coaches get a little animated on the near side here for the home team. The first one being when that snap went all the way near the end zone. That was kind of a drive killer there. And this is kind of what you have to avoid here if you're Thousand Islands. Being the underdog, slightly I'd say, being down on the scoreboard, can't, especially when you start to get some momentum going, you have some good play after good play after good play, you can't kind of regress and take a penalty.
Something to mention as well, winner of this game goes on to get home field advantage in the playoffs for the first round. Yeah, so
there's a lot on the line here, in addition to it being an 8-man football rivalry. Kind of a newer initiative here in New York State to try to get more participation in the sport. Not every team either has the funding, not every team has the ability to equip a full roster of kids to play full 11-man football. So the 8-man option is a more feasible economic option here for some of these smaller schools, as we've seen. Thousand Islands with a pass to the right side. That's going to be a first down, big gain down the right side. And Thousand Islands is cooking now. Seth Fulton on the catch. He was the one who scored the touchdown for the home team.
That was just a nice little out route there. Got to the sideline. Was able to turn upfield and then grab a first down. I mean, that's a textbook play.
Ball at the 26. A wide formation here for the Vikings. 1 man in motion, that's Spies. Dropping back to pass is Burkhardt yet again. Throwing to the left, it's a big play and almost. Great defense on the near side for South Louis. That was Gunnar Galarno with the defense. And that was almost 6 points with Cole Bryant on the near side, almost corralling that pass.
Just got it right to the right spot. Good throw by the quarterback. Was able to get his wide receiver a shot at it.
Yeah, he knew he didn't have that safety over the top, so he could really put some air under the ball and give his receiver a chance to come down with it. That was Bernhard with the throw. And speaking of Bernhard, he's going to keep it right up the middle. Good run on second down.
Set him up for a good third and about 3.
So definitely in 2-down territory here. So you got 2 downs to play with. Maybe try something here on 3rd down. If it doesn't work, you still got that 4th down to pick up 3 yards.
I mean, they've been running pretty well so far. I wouldn't mind 2 runs here as well.
I would agree with you. Right up the middle. 1 man in motion.
Oh.
And I think it went off the man in motion. Still corralled by the quarterback, who's trucking along. A good gain to about the 11-yard line. Lucky for the Vikings that wasn't just a total disaster.
Glarno was in motion, and I guess some sort of miscommunication between the snap and the quarterback bounced off of him. A very fortunate bounce.
Yeah, I'm not seeing things right. Like I think that went off Caden Spies, and it's like you said, it's lucky it went still past Spies and got to Bernhard. But yeah, I mean that could have been an absolute disaster for a pretty promising drive here for the home team. So 1st and 10, they can get a 1st down without receiving a touchdown. As Bernhard takes the keeper, and he's going to truck right along pretty close to a 1st down. I think he's about a yard short, maybe 2 yards.
Yeah, and the quarterback keeper right there has been working all game long.
Yeah, they just don't have any answer for that interior defense.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just call his number again right here.
I would. Why risk it? I wouldn't even send a person in motion and risk that either. And some broadcasters' intuition, a flag on the play. I think this is going to go against the offense, as there's some claps on the near side, but some reservations as well, as I think that's coming back, and it is. We got a hold on the offense. So, like we talked about, right, you can't take penalties, especially in this game with so much on the line, the rivalry, being down in the scoreboard. Finally think they got 6 points, and it's coming back 10 yards.
Yeah, that hurts more when you realize that would have been a score, and now you have to go back to about the 13, 14.
Yeah, and I mean, really, that's the worst thing you want to happen there. If you get stopped or get stuffed at the line, okay, it's fine, but don't hold and push you back 10 yards. We've seen plenty of 10-yard plays here for Thousand Islands, though, so don't panic yet. Keeper only goes a couple, and now we got 3rd and probably about 10.
3rd time running that play in a row. The defense kind of adjusted to that play, I believe.
Like we talked about in the pregame, Bernhard, a big part of the offense for Thousand Islands. He leads the team in rushing and leads the team in passing. He probably would lead the team in receiving if he was a receiver as well, but he can't throw it and catch it. Bernhard now to the right side. Good defense by South Louis. And they broke up that play pretty easily. Incomplete pass. We have about 4th and about 10. So now we're in a bit of a tough area here for TI.
Yeah, now I don't know if they have a kicker that feels comfortable putting this through the uprights.
I did not see a kicker warming up for field goals in the pregame.
So now you're pretty much forced to go for it. You're not going to punt it from here.
Well, you don't think a punt's a good idea? Maybe play the field position game. Maybe get another 7 yards out of this.
Get him on the 1. Go for a safety.
Gonna go for a pass here. Throw it really high in the air. And is that a catch? It is a catch in the left side. A perfect pass, a perfect catch, a perfect play for Thousand Islands, and that's going to be 6 points on the left side of the field, the near side. Cole Bryant gets 1 foot down. As we see the replay, he high points that ball, gets his left foot down, and it's a touchdown, despite the plea from Gunnar Galarno, who adamantly said that was incomplete. That looked like a good catch from my perspective.
Looking at the replay, it looked like he got that 1 foot down pretty clearly.
TI trying to get the 2-point conversion and stuffed yet again. So back-to-back touchdowns for Thousand Islands that does not get an extra point after. But successful drive. They take the lead with a score of 12-10 here on Friday Night Lights here with NBC Watertown.
They got done what they need to get done. They didn't go for the onside kick this time, put them in tough field position, got the stop, went down, made a good drive, and now we're on top. Just what they needed to do.
Folks, Bob Johnson is a huge sponsor for all the live stream initiatives that NBC Watertown puts on between high school football, high school basketball. We'll probably talk about that a little bit as the game progresses. Parades and everything that NBC Watertown live streams. Bob Johnson is always there. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, new or used, it does not matter. Bob Johnson has your ride. $5 car wash on Fridays. So next Friday, keep that in mind. $5 to get your car washed. That's at Bob Johnson's. You can find them all across the state. Locally, catch them at on Washington Street in Watertown.
They're going for it. Oh.
That's, well, a little bit of confusion, actually. It looked like it was going to be an easy recovery for South Lewis.
Thought it was going to end up short for a little bit, but then had a nice little extra hop to it.
Yeah. Maybe from where the referees have spotted the ball, I think they're calling the Thousand Islands maybe helped it move forward a little bit because they definitely recovered it on the other side of the 50. But where they put that ball there, I think they're saying the Thousand Islands maybe pushed it forward.
Seems like for the plan for Thousand Islands might be to onside kick it when you're up.
Send it away.
Send it away when you're down.
Well, it's worth, like you said, it's worth the shot, right? I mean, if you can steal a possession, that's what Thousand Islands needs to do to kind of upset the Falcons.
I mean, if they put on a defensive performance like they did last drive, I don't think it'll really matter where they set up.
So South Lewis now with the ball on their offensive side of the field. Fake the handoff, and that play is going nowhere. Nice tackle on the near side by Caden Spies. Actually, it was Bernhard on the tackle. And really maybe a yard or so for South Lewis.
Vikings putting a lot of people in the box, not wanting the run to be the thing that stops them.
Yeah, at what point does South Lewis start to say, okay, we got a lot of people in the box. There's only 8 men on the field. Let's try to throw it deep.
I mean, if you have a receiver with some speed, I'd give it a shot right here.
So that is the end of the first quarter of play. 12-10 the score. Thousand Islands on top of South Lewis. And been a pretty exciting matchup so far.
I mean, I thought the score was going to be a little bit higher when we saw 2 scores in the first 2 minutes of the game. But the defense has really showed up, and now we've got ourselves a little bit of a ball game going on. Like both teams have a little bit to talk about. I think big thing for Thousand Islands here is limiting those penalties a little bit.
Yeah, we've seen 2 what we thought were going to be drive killers, right? You had the holding, had the false start earlier, you had in addition to penalties, you had the snap that went all the way back to the end zone, almost to the end zone. So Thousand Islands has really made it difficult on themselves. Just talked about passing, and South Lewis opens the second quarter with a pass. And it looks like we're either going to get a hold or a pass interference in the middle of the field. Defensive holding is going to be the call.
I don't think any of that was intentional. I think 2 receivers just kind of crossed at the right point. Defenders got entangled with the receivers.
Yeah, it was a well-choreographed play. Both receivers kind of crossing at the right time to kind of create some confusion and create some contact in the middle. And it was enough contact for the officials to throw the flag. First down and 10 as South Lewis moves the ball down the field. They're going to try for the pass again. Over to the near side. That's going to be caught, completed, and close to a first down was Aiden Simmons.
This is what you like to see out of the Falcons. They're starting to spread the field a bit more. A lot of, like we said, a lot of players in the box for TI. Let's widen up that field a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty common for 8-man. You know, I mean, you could easily stack the box and stop the run, but if you could have some fast receivers, I mean, there's just no help deep, right? So you could really if you got a quarterback who can get him the ball, got some athletes on the outside, you could really stretch the defense and create a pretty prominent passing attack. Second down, or sorry, the second down rush didn't gain a lot there, maybe a yard. It'll be third down and about, say, 4.
I think that's a fair assessment.
Maybe 3. Second grade was a tough 3 years.
we'll see here if Falcons can pick up enough to go for this.
Little fake of a handoff, and then they went to the opposite side of the near side. And I don't think it's got to be really close to a first down. I don't think they got there. Probably a yard or two short. It looked like that was Carter Burgoyes on the carry.
Looks like the line against the 32. They got him right at the 30. We're going to have to see some. I would expect them to go to the pass game here. It seems like the run's been
Tight
pretty
formation there. South Louis has to get to the 28. One man in motion. And a QB sneak. Was that a tush push?
I was about to call it as one. It seems like
the brotherly shove in Frontier League football.
it looked like the quarterback just kind of went up right there to the line. Something you see very similar to the Eagles there.
Yeah,
Jalen Hurts.
I mean, we've always had the quarterback sneak, right? We've always had that play from the moment that football began. Now it's kind of hard to differentiate what's a tush push and what's a quarterback sneak. Some quarterback sneaks do have at least one or two people pushing from behind. So is that going to be the brotherly shove as well, or does it have to be that exact same formation that Philadelphia, the Eagles, and the NFL level have? Big hit in the middle of the field.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a good way to differentiate the two, but I mean, whatever they did worked, and I think we'll see it a couple more times at the end of it a similar spot.
I don't want to go on a tangent, but that play needs to go somewhere, and it can't be in the NFL. Bring it back to rugby. I'm so sick of seeing it.
I understand where you're coming from.
I could go on a tangent on it. We're just going to leave that there. Second down and about 4. As that play gains some positive yards, but not much.
Yeah, it looks like the Falcons have a very similar playbook that you see in some college offenses, which is like a triple read in a way. That first handoff, if it looks open, they'll hand it off. If not, they'll pull it back, and they have a running back on the outside to pitch it to.
And I think they've done a good job of setting up that initial handoff, right? A lot of times that initial handoff doesn't get the ball, and it goes to the second or third option. Well, eventually, they're going to lull that defense to sleep, constantly run that same play, and then they're going to give it to that initial handoff, and then that's going to be a big play. Speaking of big plays, we got one right here. That's a touchdown on the near side for South Louis. It looked like that was Aiden Simons on the left side for a touchdown. It's a big play for South Louis.
And like you said, the setup to that is all those runs, dragging those defenders. There's the replay right there. Just an absolute dime on the run.
Yeah, it was a strong throw. Didn't have to lob that one up and get a lot of air underneath. That was a bullet to the left side. Caught in for the score. So now South Louis will try to go for the 2-point conversion. In the gun formation, fake on the handoff, a lefty throw to the left side. And that's going to be incomplete. So we've seen a lot of 2-point conversions just not successful, but I don't think either team has a kicker that they're willing to even try to trot out there.
I mean, yeah, if you don't have a kicker ready, I guess that's just what you got to do. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You hope that your 2-point conversions kind of even out to the point where it doesn't really make a difference. But in this game, I think it's going to be a touchdown that wins it. I don't know if it'll be a 3-point field goal.
Yeah, probably.
But no, like I was trying to say, that drive all came down to Indian River stacking that box, not being ready for the pass. I mean, that entire drive was handoff, 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 handoff. And then one break-off pass is what scores it.
So South Louis setting up to kick it away. We haven't seen South Louis try the onside kicks at the frequency that Thousand Islands have, so they've played a lot more conservative. And their kicker has a bigger boot than Thousand Islands does as well. He can get the ball further down the field.
And I think that's the major difference between the two. If you have someone that can kick it down the field, believe in your defense because you're going to have to go a long ways.
Caught at around the 16-yard line, now reversing fields. Tries to work it upfield now and gets it a decent ways, a little more than 10 yards. Cole Bryant was on the return there. Been pretty impressed with Cole Bryant to start things off. He is just a freshman, standing at 5'11", 135 pounds. But he's played pretty big here so far. They've gone to his number on the kick return game. They've used him in the offense as well. Cole Bryant been a name so far that has really played well here for the home team.
And with not too many people on the sideline, we're going to get to see how well his stamina is holding up.
One man in motion, fakes the handoff before the snap even got there. Bold play. And looks like we're going to get about a yard with a lot of semantics prior to the snap.
I mean, that's one thing I've liked out of both offenses here. You see a lot of motion before the plays. I mean, that helps spread the field as well.
Yeah, and that's what's made a lot of coaches successful, is just scheming motions and making things confusing. You've seen at the professional level, the Sean McVays, the Andy Reeds, who kind of scheme and create mismatches through motion, through some pre-snap semantics. We've seen Thousand Islands do it quite a bit here. One man in motion again. They're going to give him the handoff, and he's going to go absolutely nowhere. Multiple Falcons in for that stop. I believe that was Draven Perry on the initial tackle attempt.
Yeah, there's a lot of white jerseys there. It was tough to just pick one.
Yeah, I think it was Perry who got that initial hit, but then multiple others in on that tackle as well. Robert Daly, I think, joined in, and also Damian Koff was in there for the Falcons as well. Big play needed here for the Vikings. They're going to try to get it through the air. Long pass to the right side. In stride, it's caught. And a big play is exactly what the Vikings needed. They got it on the near side with a big pass attempt. Who else but Cole Bryant comes away with the reception. And they have just flipped the script here for the Thousand Islands Vikings.
Good job by Cole Bernhardt to stay downfield and get that over-the-shoulder catch, but give it up to Bernhardt as well. You're starting to see why he has 1,000 yards on the season for passing. I mean, that was put right in the breadbasket, right in stride. Couldn't have asked for a better throw.
Yeah, Bryant did not even have to slow down. He was just still in stride as that ball just kind of floated into his chest and as he corralled it in. And now Thousand Islands is in business, but slowed down a little bit on that first down play, as that play did not go anywhere for Thomas Bernhardt, who's played pretty well so far. I'm really impressed with Bernhardt. He's just a sophomore, so I think that Bernhardt-Bryant connection is going to be something that teams are going to have to fear for quite some time now.
Yeah, the coaches are getting the first look at it here. Years down the line, they're going to have to scheme something up for it.
Here comes the snap, and it's a hook route that doesn't gain much, but does gain some positive yards. Maybe 3 or so, but still going to be third and long as we approach the 5-minute mark here in the first half of play. Reminder that Thousand Islands was supposed to kick it away to start things off. They went with the onside kick and recovered. So they did get the ball to start the game. They will get the ball again in to start the second half. So they could go, a double score here, get the score, stop South Louis, and then get another score and really put some distance between the two teams.
Oh.
And just as I say that, big play, Thousand Islands petitioning that they have the ball, and it looks like they do. Aiden Cantwell, the senior, I think, got on the fumble. That was almost a disaster.
Yeah, linebacker got right into the backfield quickly. Just got to the arm, and that's always dangerous for a quarterback when a defender has their arm on your throwing arm. Things don't usually end well, but this time it does.
It's a tough spot to be for a quarterback. Also a tough spot to be for the home team. Fourth, and the first down markers in the other is in the next county. It's about at the 10-yard line. But we've seen Thousand Islands pull this off before with a pass to the corner pylon. It looks like they're going to try it again, but he's not going to get that off.
Looks like another fumble, but only thing that's going to change is the starting position for the offense.
Right. Regardless, it was going to be a fourth down stop or a turnover of some means. And that's going to be all she wrote for that drive for Thousand Islands. They don't get a score before half, at least not yet. We'll see if they get a chance to put up more points or if South Louis takes all the time off the clock as they move the ball down the field. Just under 4 minutes here. Does South Louis just worry about the clock at all? They're just trying to score. I mean, 4 minutes is plenty of time in 8-man. But do they try to run the ball and try to get that clock down?
Well, the way this offense works, I think they're going to have a chance to run the clock down as they say that.
They throw immediately and stop the clock.
I was going to say this offense likes to run the ball a lot. I could see the clock trickling down and maybe reevaluating closer to the 30, but I think their plan is just to score early and often.
Yeah, that would have been my plan of attack as well there, Zach. I would have at least called a run on first down, see what you get, kind of evaluate, but at least get that clock moving a little bit. And then from there, I think they do have all 3 timeouts, so they should be able to, stop the clock at will. A little push pass here. That doesn't go anywhere. And now for Thousand Islands, do you start thinking about a timeout here?
I mean, it doesn't seem like the Falcons have any intention of running the clock down, so I don't think if I'm TI, I'm too worried about the clock.
Yeah, maybe it's just me too, but yeah, I just don't remember a time before maybe the past 5 years or so, especially at the professional level, where a team scores late in a quarter, late in a half, and you think like, oh, game over. But now we're seeing NFL teams and college teams and even high school teams, 15 seconds on the clock, 25 seconds on the clock. It's still too much time. So I guess you're right there. They're not really too worried about the clock. And South Louis now with a big play. Flips the script, and now in offensive territory, big catch and run for Jack Teal. And that changes everything.
That was an interesting play call there. It almost looked like a semi-screen. The running back hid behind the offensive lineman, and then they just dumped the ball off to him, and he had a ton of room.
Screens like that, you always have to be careful of having a lineman go too far down the field. You have to be careful with holds, because things are, there's a lot of movement, a lot of motion. People are pulling, they're pushing. There could be a hold in the middle. That was a great job by South Louis by making sure they didn't accrue a flag on that play. Big run right up the middle by the quarterback. So Sampson kept the ball there. And it looks like it's close to a first down, but they're not moving the chains. And there they go. So first down.
Sampson doing a lot like Bernhardt there, running right up the middle. Had plenty of room. Drag a few guys with you and get that first down.
Approaching the 2-minute mark. This would be a big stop for Thousand Islands if they can keep them out of the end zone. Sampson back to pass. The left, he looks to the right, and looked like he had a receiver at least moderately open. And it looks like he didn't have his feet underneath him, and the pass falls mercifully to the turf.
Yeah, I don't know how close. It's tough to see that blue line from where we're at.
It definitely is. That's my biggest takeaway with the new field.
But I think maybe the line might have gotten to him and didn't know quite where to lay his feet.
Oh, the turf monster.
Yeah, that's where it is. Still second down here. Tons of room to work with.
A run to the right for Sampson. Now cuts back up the middle. Oh, ball's out. This could be a big play for the Vikings. And the near side officials are already calling that Thousand Islands were on the ball. And now all the officials are pointing the right way for the home team. A big play, a big turnover forced by the home team. South Louis comes up empty-handed. And TI now has just under 2 minutes to go the length of the football field.
Yeah, it looked like a great strip from Griffin, if I'm not mistaken. And that was just pulled right out of from – he had a good grip on that and just pulled it right out. Able to jump on top of it, too, I believe.
We just said this would be a huge stop for Thousand Islands, and they come through. So now it's 1st and 10 at around the 15-yard line. We'll see how aggressive Thousand Islands is here.
Only a minute 46 left on the clock. You got to be somewhat aggressive.
Going for the pass, so they want it all. On the first play, behind the defense, and it looked like there's going to be a flag on the play. There should be a flag on the play, and there is. A good call by the deep official there. And we'll see if they got hold or pass interference. I think it was more in the realm of pass interference.
Kind of looked like it. The ball was already coming down they grabbed onto the jersey.
Now, we could also have offsetting penalties here. So we got pass interference, and we also have a penalty on Thousand Islands as well. So we're going to have, after all that excitement, we have offsetting penalties, and we're going to try it again here on first down. The only harm is some time off the clock.
And I know both teams got a penalty there, but once again, Indian River having a pretty crucial penalty that could have Thousand Islands. Sorry, my bad.
That's okay. You've done a lot of Indian River so far.
A lot of Indian River. Yeah, Thousand Islands. Thousand Islands once again with a penalty. That brings them back from a pretty deep gain.
So we got a keeper here for the quarterback, and he's loose. Trying to find more running room. Instead, he gets down, but will get a first down on that keeper. That was Thomas Bernhard. And move the chains. Clock is stopped for now as they reset the yardage markers, and now the clock starts again. Less than a minute 30 here. Thousand Islands does kind of have to move a little bit at a quicker pace. I think one of the coaches is telling them that now. Like, hey, we got to go here, boys.
Well, I think they saw the clock stop, and maybe they felt a little bit more relaxed. But
trying to go for it deep again. Almost incredible one-handed catch by Seth Fulton. Might have got away with a little bit of a push-off before the ball came down. Regardless, incomplete. And we're going to try it again on second down.
yeah, I was going to mention the same thing with that slight little bump there from the receiver. Kind of extended his arms, but good job by Bernhardt, just giving his receivers a chance at the ball.
I like it. I mean, so far, South Louis has not shown the willingness to put a center fielder, per se, back, a free safety to kind of roam deep. And so Thousand Islands is taking advantage of that. Letting him throw the ball deep, putting a lot of air under the ball, and just letting his wide receivers take a chance and try to come down with it. And so far, it's worked more than it hasn't. It's going to be a tough throw here. Ball comes out. And do they blow the play dead?
I believe that is an interception. I think they stepped out of bounds.
Oh, see, the new lines are getting with me here. Yeah, so that's exactly what should have been called here. I think the officials are going to kind of get together. So I don't think I'm the only one that was a little confused off the start because the officials have to get together to have a conversation about it. And now this could be a huge play for South Louis. Getting the ball within the if they do retain possession.
No,
They're
yeah, there we go.
There it is. Okay. Did they not point for Thousand Islands to keep the ball there for a second?
The first signal was pointing Thousand Islands ball. But then, yeah, I guess he just switched sides and pointed the other way.
Looks like their Thousand Islands bench is trying to get a confirmation and get an explanation on what they called there. To me, trying to summarize a lot of what was going on there, it looked like it was an interception where, as Zach said, he caught it and then went out of bounds. Reminder, with 8-man football, they use a more narrow field. And looks like Thousand Islands brings it back. They get an interception at the 9-yard line. And 2 turnovers on 2 plays. Now we're getting into a little bit of some sloppy football here.
Well, I think the difference here is that teams are not really pressuring the run anymore because it feels like neither team can run the ball because there's so little time left. You can drop a lot more guys into coverage that way, and a lot of these zones might mess up the quarterback.
So if you're Thousand Islands here, you're down on the scoreboard. You're down by 4. But how aggressive do you get knowing, okay, you almost had an absolute disaster. If South Louis doesn't run out of bounds there, they probably return that for a touchdown. Do they put the ball in the air anymore, or do they just go into half knowing, okay, we're down 4, we'll get the ball back?
I think your question's kind of being answered right now.
Yeah.
Quarterback taking his time and ran one right up the middle.
Yeah, you got to be close to territory of just trotting off the field and going into half.
What I wouldn't mind here, if I'm Thousand Islands, is just trying one deep. I mean, it's almost worked a couple times. Your receivers have some speed.
Yeah, throw it deep and make sure that you're ready to defend if it does get picked off. Make sure they don't return it for a touchdown. I mean, what could it hurt, right? Instead, they're going to do a halfback dive right up the middle. It'd be close to a first down, but that clock
Still running. Oh, no, clock stopped. They might be moving the chains. Clock stopped. 10 seconds left. Have time for one more play if they choose. Offense isn't coming off the field, so they may just run one more, see if they can break one.
Well, you're going to have to get to the line quick, and they're not going to have
Nope.
enough time for this play. Quarterback's still on the sideline. So that's how the first half of play is going to end. South Louis over Thousand Islands 16-12, and Thousand Islands will be receiving in the second half. Keys or takeaways so far in the first half here, Zach?
Starting off the game, I thought it was going to be big offense, but defense has been the name of this game. Really stopping drives on both sides of the fields, but not only that, a couple of key takeaways here within the last 2 minutes that almost changed the tide of the game, but kind of kept it the same in a way.
So we're going to take a break here for halftime on Friday Night Lights with NBC Watertown. South Louis over Thousand Islands 16-12. 15 minutes on the clock for the second half intermission. We'll come back. We'll tell you about our sponsors. We'll tell you about the first half as well. It's all right here on NBCWatertown.com, Friday Night Lights.
Jim Strabel here at Bob Johnson Chevrolet in Pulaski, and we've got what you've been looking for, the best selection of budget-friendly pre-owned vehicles in Central New York. With over 2,000 makes and models to choose from, Bob Johnson's got you covered. If new vehicles are your style, check out our amazing deals on the new Silverado, Trailblazer, and the all-redesigned Chevy Equinox. Search us online at BobJohnsonChevyPulaski.com or stop in and see us.
Bob Johnson's got you right. Bob Johnson.
Saturday night, live on NBC and Peacock, the Michigan Wolverines visit the Michigan State Spartans. Touchdown! Bragging rights are on the line in prime time. Live on NBC and Peacock.
This is the Premier League, where every club stands on the edge. It's all on the line, because here you don't just support, you belong. The Premier League mornings, live on NBC and Peacock.
Now think of when we were together. Now you're just somebody that I used to know.
Hi, Mike Perkins here at Bob Johnson Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Watertown, where we have over 1,400 used vehicles to choose from. Whether you're looking for a lifted truck, an SUV, a sports car, or a minivan, we've got them all here at Bob Johnson, and if we don't have it, we can find it for you. So stop on in to Bob Johnson Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Watertown on Outer Washington Street, or visit us at BobJohnsonCDJR.com.
Bob Johnson's got you right. Bob Johnson.
Middle-aged man found by dead. Whoa! He did it! He beat death!
I got a call about a psych consult. No, I do not do clowns.
Are you seeing this right now?
This day is full of surprises.
Brilliant Minds, Monday on NBC and Peacock.
The battles come to a close, and the knockouts begin.
We have Zach Brown
and Joe Walsh with the Eagles.
What happens if we touch this button?
We got a mic drop! What the?
The Voice, new Monday on NBC and Peacock.
Spread out and have a look around.
Hey, I got a victim.
What the hell?
Kid, what's your status? Kid, respond.
Chicago Fire, new Wednesday on NBC and Peacock.
Kevin Hadley here at Bob Johnson Ford of Pulaski, New York, where we have over 1,000 new and used vehicles right here on our lot. Come check out our huge selection of Super Duties. We carry 50 to 60 in stock. We have XLTs, XL work trucks, King Ranch. We also have 50 to 60 Broncos on the ground. Also, come check out the brand new body style 2025 Ford Expedition. Come visit us right in Pulaski, New York, right off of 81. You can't miss the big flag. And also check us out on BobJohnsonFord.com.
Bob Johnson's got you right. Bob Johnson.
Trauma 3 is open.
The last 3 patients we put in there have died.
Clear.
No pulse.
Anything's going on. This is scary.
We lost power in here.
Chicago Med, new Wednesday on NBC and Peacock.
The only witness is my brother Matt.
Just tell me what you know.
I'm on parole and
I don't want to get involved.
This case isn't winnable without his testimony.
Can we trust him?
Law & Order, new Thursday on NBC and Peacock.
Dateline tonight. From the first sting operation to her airport arrest, this grandma has been suspected of murder.
This decision affects the rest of my life.
Now it's her day in court. Dateline tonight, 9/8 Central.
The fastest horses around the globe will compete to be crowned the best in the world. It's the 2025 Breeders' Cup on NBC and Peacock.
Saturday night, live on NBC and Peacock. The Michigan Wolverines.
Here comes Haynes. Touchdown.
Visit the Michigan State Spartans.
There's no stopping him.
It's an in-state matchup with bragging rights on the line. Under the lights in prime time.
This game is going to be big.
Saturday night on NBC and Peacock.
This is the Premier League,
This most dramatic of days.
where every club stands on the edge, on the cusp of glory,
The motivation is clear.
or the brink of despair.
Harsh realities of being in the Premier League.
For every team and every fan, it's all on the line. Because here, you don't just support, you belong. The Premier League Mornings, live on NBC and Peacock.
Hi, Neil Terrell here at Bob Johnson Volkswagen on Outer Washington Street in Watertown with over 1,400 pre-owned cars, trucks, SUVs, you name it, we can find it for you. Volkswagen knocked it out of the park with this 2025 Volkswagen Tiguan R-Line. Come see it. Or the 2025 Volkswagen Jetta. See it today on Outer Washington Street in Watertown or click bobjohnsonvw.com.
Bob Johnson's got your ride. Bob Johnson.
For 8 remaining drivers, what matters is the moment.
And he's done it again.
Steeled focus on detail.
Denny Hamlin is going to Phoenix.
Driven by heart, steered by steady hands.
This would be epic.
And a resolve to make a run for the ages.
Can you believe the finish that we are about to see?
The NASCAR playoffs continue at Martinsville, live on NBC and Peacock.
Aaron Rodgers, one of the great careers of all time.
You know, 18 years of my career. It's really special.
Now you're just somebody that I used to know.
Sunday Night Football. What a matchup. Wow. That was impressive. We're heating up now, baby.
Okay, guys, I'm ready.
Today's client, KitchenAid, wants a video starring Jennifer Garner.
Welcome to Breakfast in Bed.
And there's one more twist. 4 of you will be going home.
On Brand with Jimmy Fallon, new tonight on NBC and Peacock.
I'm starting a new team at a tiny school with an unpronounceable name. Yeah, how?
Heddleston.
Wow! I'm looking for tumblers and stumblers.
I have narcolepsy.
Are you dead or sleeping?
Stumble, November 7th on NBC and Peacock.
The race of a lifetime.
So here we go.
Blistering fastest skier in the world.
Having another beautiful run.
Look at that.
The House of Speed. That is the run she needed.
Incredibly fast. What a skate!
The best run she has ever had.
That should not be possible.
Building on that lead now.
Into the lead! Crowd roaring! It is gold for Team USA!
They have been the best in the world.
Is this the gold medal run? And this game underway.
Need to ski really strong. She is one of the strongest.
So strong, so efficient.
Here comes Diggins!
She's got so much strength and power.
Everybody up out of their seats.
The U.S. has the lead.
There's that physicality we talked about.
Jim Strabel here at Bob Johnson Chevrolet in Pulaski, and we've got what you've been looking for, the best selection of budget-friendly, pre-owned vehicles in Central New York. With over 2,000 makes and models to choose from, Bob Johnson's got you covered. If new vehicles are your style, check out our amazing deals on the new Silverado, Trailblazer, and the all redesigned Chevy Equinox. Search us online at BobJohnsonChevyPulaski.com or stop in and see us.
Bob Johnson's got you right. Bob Johnson.
Saturday night, live on NBC and Peacock, the Michigan Wolverines visit the Michigan State Spartans. Touchdown! Bragging rights are on the line in prime time. Live on NBC and Peacock.
This is the Premier League, where every club stands on the edge. It's all on the line, because here you don't just support, you belong. The Premier League mornings, live on NBC and Peacock.
Now I think of when we were together. Now you're just somebody that I used to know.
Hi, Mike Perkins here at Bob Johnson Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Watertown, where we have over 1,400 used vehicles to choose from. Whether you're looking for a lifted truck, an SUV, a sports car, or a minivan, we've got them all here at Bob Johnson, and if we don't have it, we can find it for you. So stop on in to Bob Johnson Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Watertown on Outer Washington Street, or visit us at BobJohnsonCDJR.com.
Bob Johnson's got you right. Bob Johnson.
Middle-aged man found dead.
Whoa! He did it! He beat death!
I got a call about a site console.
No, I do not do clowns.
Are you seeing this right now? This day is full of surprises.
Brilliant Minds, Monday on NBC and Peacock.
The battles come to a close, and the knockouts begin.
We have Zach Brown
And Joe Walsh with the Eagles.
What happens if we touch this button?
We got a mic drop! What the?
The Voice, new Monday on NBC and Peacock.
Spread out and have a look around.
Hey, I got a victim.
What the hell?
Kid, what's your status? Kid, respond.
Chicago Fire, new Wednesday on NBC and Peacock.
Kevin Hadley here at Bob Johnson Ford of Pulaski, New York, where we have over 1,000 new and used vehicles right here on our lot. Come check out our huge selection of Super Duties. We carry 50 to 60 in stock. We have XLTs, XL work trucks, King Ranch. We also have 50 to 60 Broncos on the ground. Also, come check out the brand new body style 2025 Ford Expedition. Come visit us right in Pulaski, New York, right off of 81. You can't miss the big flag. And also check us out on BobJohnsonFord.com.
Bob Johnson's got you right. Bob Johnson.
Trauma 3 is open. The last 3 patients we put in there have died.
Clear.
No pulse.
Anything's going on. This is scary.
We lost power in here.
Chicago Med, new Wednesday on NBC and Peacock.
The only witness is my brother Matt.
Just tell me what you know. I'm on parole and I don't want to get involved.
This case isn't winnable without his testimony.
Can we trust him?
Law and Order, new Thursday on NBC and Peacock.
Dateline tonight. From the first sting operation to her airport arrest, this grandma has been suspected of murder.
This decision affects the rest of my life.
Now it's her day in court. Dateline tonight, 9/8 Central.
Fastest horses around the globe will compete to be crowned the best in the world. It's the 2025 Breeders' Cup on NBC and Peacock.
Saturday night, live on NBC and Peacock. The Michigan Wolverines.
Here comes Haynes. Touchdown.
Visit the Michigan State Spartans.
There's no stopping him.
It's an in-state matchup with bragging rights on the line. Under the lights in prime time.
This game is going to be big.
Saturday night on NBC and Peacock.
This is the Premier League,
This most dramatic of games.
where every club stands on the edge. on the cusp of glory,
The motivation is clear.
or the brink of despair.
Harsh realities of being in the Premier League.
For every team and every fan, it's all on the line. Because here, you don't just support, you belong. The Premier League Mornings, live on NBC and Peacock.
Hi, Neil Terrell here at Bob Johnson Volkswagen on Outer Washington Street in Watertown with over 1,400 pre-owned cars, trucks, SUVs, you name it, we can find it for you. Volkswagen knocked it out of the park with this 2025 Volkswagen Tiguan R-Line. Come see it. Or the 2025 Volkswagen Jetta. See it today on Outer Washington Street in Watertown or click bobjohnsonvw.com.
Bob Johnson's got you right. Bob Johnson.
For 8 remaining drivers, what matters is the moment.
And he's done it again!
Steeled focus on detail.
Denny Hamlin is going to Phoenix!
Driven by heart, steered by steady hands.
This will be epic!
And a resolve to make a run for the ages.
Wow! Can you believe the finish that we are about to see?
The NASCAR playoffs continue at Martinsville, live on NBC and Peacock.
Aaron Rodgers, one of the great careers of all time.
You know, in 18 years of my career, it's really special.
Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Sunday Night Football.
What a matchup! Wow! That was impressive. We're heating up now, baby.
Okay, guys, I'm ready.
Today's client, KitchenAid, wants a video starring Jennifer Garner.
Welcome to Breakfast in Bed.
And there's one more twist. 4 of you will be going home.
On Brand with Jimmy Fallon, new tonight on NBC and Peacock.
I'm starting a new team at a tiny school with an unpronounceable name. Yeah, how?
Hiddleston.
Wow! I'm looking for tumblers and stumblers.
I have narcolepsy.
Are you dead or sleeping?
Stumble, November 7th on NBC and Peacock.
The race of a lifetime.
So here we go.
Blistering fastest skier in the world.
Having another beautiful run.
Look at that. The House of Speed. That is the run she needed.
Incredibly fast. What escape!
The best run she has ever had.
That should not be possible. Building on that lead now. Into the lead! Crowd roaring! It is gold for Team USA!
They have been the best in the world.
Is this the gold medal run? And this game underway.
Need to ski really strong. She is one of the strongest.
So strong, so efficient.
Here comes Diggins!
She's got so much strength and power.
Everybody up out of their seat.
The U.S. has the lead.
There's that physicality we talked about.
Jim Strable here at Bob Johnson Chevrolet in Pulaski, and we've got what you've been looking for, the best selection of budget-friendly pre-owned vehicles in Central New York. With over 2,000 makes and models to choose from, Bob Johnson's got you covered. If new vehicles are your style, check out our amazing deals on the new Silverado, Trailblazer, and the all-redesigned Chevy Equinox. Search us online at bobjohnsonchevypulaski.com or stop in and see us.
Bob Johnson's got you right. Bob Johnson.
Saturday night, live on NBC and Peacock, the Michigan Wolverines visit the Michigan State Spartans.
Touchdown!
Bragging rights are on the line in prime time. Live on NBC and Peacock.
This is the Premier League, where every club stands on the edge. It's all on the line. Because here, you don't just support, you belong. The Premier League Mornings, live on
And we're back here to Thousand Islands High School for the second half of this 8-man football matchup. South Lewis so far is leading Thousand Islands 16-12 in I'd say an exciting first half of football.
Score doesn't show it, but yeah, there has been a lot of turnovers. There's been a lot of good stops on defense, and there's been some explosive plays on offense.
There were some turnovers, but I wouldn't say it was sloppy football. You know, I mean, it wasn't like they were dropping the ball all over the place. I mean, there were some interceptions, but it was really just two teams taking a shot before the end of the half.
Absolutely. When everybody can drop back on defense, you don't have to worry about the run. It makes it a lot harder to throw, and that's where the interceptions came in.
Now, Thousand Islands led off the game with an onside kick. See what South Louis does. They will opt to send it deep. Received at the 20-yard line. Trying to find some running room this time. I think that's Bryant, and he takes it into about the 30, and that's how the second half of play will begin here at TI Central. It's a gorgeous night tonight. I wasn't sure how it was going to pan out. A lot of rain throughout the day, but it looks like it's pretty clear out there. It's got that perfect, like, crisp, cold air out there that you want in a late-season football matchup.
Let's say it's football weather. This is what the players are pretty used to playing in. I mean, when you're running so much, I think a good cool breeze is kind of what you want.
One man in motion, and it's going to be a handoff right up the middle. I believe that was Caden Spies, the senior, who took the handoff. Gets a couple of yards, and that's where Thousand Islands will set up shop for second down at about 2nd and 8.
Yeah, and like we mentioned before the half, this is the second half. TI is starting with the ball due to that onside kick beginning of the game. Oh, a little bit of personnel issues here.
Big night here for this matchup hosted at Thousand Islands. Obviously, you see the pink out there for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. You see senior night as well, as it's the last home game for Thousand Islands. And speaking of senior night, Thomas Bernhard is going to trot to the other side of the field. Actually, he's the sophomore quarterback, so I guess not really speaking of senior night. But it is senior night tonight, so Thousand Islands celebrating the graduating athletes tonight as well. And then, as far as the football goes, it's a budding rivalry in the 8-man league. Not a lot of schools participate in this division, but South Louis and Thousand Islands, two of the locals that do play in this league. And big playoff implications.
Yeah, winner gets home field advantage for the first round of the playoffs. And with how far these schools are located between each other, that home field advantage is going to feel pretty nice.
I'm sure. I mean, like we talked about before, this is almost, I'm pretty sure it's pretty close to 2 hours for South Louis to make the trek all the way to this side of Jefferson County. And I'm sure that Thousand Islands does not want to make the 2-hour trek into Lewis County later on in the year, especially in postseason play, if they can avoid it. So big implications here to determine postseason, how the postseason is going to shape out. Hand off to the middle. That's Spies yet again. Looks like that's going to be enough for a first down, and now Thousand Islands is rolling to lead things off in the second half of play, as they do move the chains, and TI gets a fresh set of downs.
And this is what we've been seeing out of TI, that offense just taking chunks. First couple of plays usually get stopped, but then one or two breakout plays usually gets them down the field.
Right, they do get some chunk plays that moves them down the field. They do move the ball pretty methodically down the field. But what we've seen is they kind of stall out as they get closer to the end zone there. Big pass attempt down the middle and knocked away at the last minute. That secondary for South Louis is ready for that one. Seth Fulton almost got behind the defense for the second score of the day.
Yeah, and another beautifully placed ball by Bernhardt. Just defense was ready for that one. Had a couple of guys deep.
Yeah, I mean, South Louis was kind of ready for that one. It looked like there was at least 3 that were tailing Fulton, ready to defend that pass. Quarterback keeper up the middle. About 4 to 5 yards. Puts Thousand Islands in a way more manageable position, being a third down. We're in 4-down territory, I'd say.
Yeah, anywhere on your own side of the field, or sorry, the opponent's side of the field is where you probably are going to go for it. It makes no sense to punt at that point. You already got a long field behind you.
So knowing we're probably in 4-down territory, I don't expect a deep pass here, or the need to go deep. could still call a quarterback keeper, which they've had a lot of success on so far this game. Handoff up the middle, and that's a good rush. Going to be close to a first down. I think he's got enough. And one of the Falcons get a little slow to get up, but finally helped to his feet. That was Robert Daly. But as I said, he is back to his feet, ready to play ball again.
I almost thought the fire ref had him short, but he motioned the sticks to go forward. So,
yeah, I mean, I knew it had to be really close. At initial glance, thought he had it by maybe half a yard. Bryant in motion. Hand off to Spies. He's going to cut back, try to find some running room. He does momentarily, but not a lot of distance north to south. He ran a lot of east and west there. I think he picked up about a yard.
Similar play earlier in the first half of the game. Play kind of got broken up on the close side and ended up going far and getting the first down. That time defense did well to contain the little bit of a counterattack.
So second down at about 9 as the clock continues to roll. We're approaching the 8-minute mark. We'll hit it after this play. One man in motion, the snap to the quarterback, and that's not going to go far either. So third down at about 9 as I think he pretty much gets right back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. So it looks like South Louis is starting to key in on that run right up the middle here.
Yeah, that's something they struggled to stop in the first half. Doing a lot better of it here. The only thing you worry about is if using all those players to stop that run might open up the pass game a little bit. But
I was thinking the same thing. Now would be a good time to send Bryant to the corner of the end zone like they got their second touchdown. That's a similar play I think would be a good idea here. There's no one to the right side. Now they're starting to space out as one man in motion. I think they're going to try to go for it here. There is a man behind the defense. And incomplete. Drake Rios was behind the defense and could not come up with that reception. Would have been an easy touchdown if he could have corralled that ball. Instead, it's going to be 4th and 9. I couldn't tell, though, if he was able to get his fingertips on that or if the pass was just a little bit too far for him.
It looked right close to his arms and a tough angle from where we're at, but also a tough pass to bring in even if it was in his arms. It's over the shoulder. You don't have time to turn around and catch it.
Good play by the sophomore, though, as he was behind the defense. He did stretch that defense and almost made him pay.
It's almost what we wanted to call for. It's just a deep pass. Ooh.
A little hook route close to the first down. I don't think it's going to be enough, though.
I think he stopped right at the first down marker, but drew himself in a little bit when he went to go catch that.
Yeah, so that's going to be a turnover on downs. Just barely short. I mean, half a football maybe. They were short there, and that's how Thousand Islands' first drive ends without points. Still down 16-12.
I think the play call there was to run to the sticks. I think he got there, saw the ball, ran forward a yard.
Yeah, he needed to go one more yard past the sticks knowing that he's going to come back and make that reception. But that's tough, though. The defense knows exactly where you got to go to get the first down, and they were ready for it. First down play is blown dead.
A lot of penalties on the offense this game.
Yeah, a couple defensive holdings and a pass interference that ended up turning into offsetting penalties, so the yardage wasn't administered. But so far, like you said, some offensive penalties have been dominating some drives as we're approaching the halfway mark in the third. We're not there yet.
Flag down.
So they threw the flag, they picked it up, and they didn't march off any penalty yards.
Didn't see anything called either. Maybe just stopping the play. Looks like it's still going to be 1st and 10 at the 20.
Clock's not running yet. We'll start on the snap. Speed option play, that's not going anywhere.
I saw that right. I think the quarterback dribbled that one on the ground.
It wasn't a clean distribution of the ball. Carter Burgoyes made a good athletic play to retain possession for South Louis. That could have been a nightmare scenario for the away team.
Ball looked like it defied gravity there, just kind of flew back at him.
Under 7 minutes to go. We have a tight formation here for the Falcons as they've had pretty much all game. Handoff now trying the right side. That's going to go maybe a yard or two, but still third and pretty long. Third and let's call it 9.
I think the PA announcer tends to agree with you.
Yeah, I wonder if he's got the live stream up in his booth over there, because he seems to be kind of mimicking my calls. Or maybe I'm also mimicking him. Who knows?
Who knows?
That pass incomplete. It's going to be a 4th down now, and looks like you're going to be in punt territory. We've seen South Louis opt to punt in the first half, and their punter does have a good leg.
Yeah, once again, no return man, so I'm pretty sure I'm correct on that ruling. Ooh, good
and
block.
That's blocked. A big play for Thousand Islands.
Punter got it back. Going to get a chance to.
They knocked out of bounds on the far side.
That's the second.
That's a second blocked punt, one for each team, I believe. And now Thousand Islands is going to retain possession deep in their offensive zone. About, let's see where they set the ball. Maybe at the 10-yard line, I think. And that's going to be a huge play for Thousand Islands. PA announcer is attributing Chevy Dorr, the senior wide receiver, as the man who got in to block that punt. Now, Thousand Islands is trying to take advantage right up the middle of the field. That's going to be Bernhard, who trucks forward, picks up a few yards. But this is where we've seen Thousand Islands have their drive bogged down, and they don't have a place kicker, or at least we haven't seen a place kicker yet, to go out there and put up 3 points. 3 points still not enough to tie or take the lead, so even if they did, they probably would still opt to go for a 4th down opportunity. But we've seen Thousand Islands have their drive just kind of stall here, so we'll see if they can get over the hump and take the lead.
Well, I mean, this is a tough place for their offense just because it seems like they're either focused on the run or a deep pass, and if you can't get the run game going, a deep pass doesn't work within the 10-yard line.
Handoff up the middle, and it looks like Spies is going to be very, very close. It looked like he got there, and he did. Touchdown for the Thousand Islands Vikings. Caden Spies up the middle, and they will take the lead on this possession after that block punt.
Yeah, and that was a good run right there. That was the holes we saw in the first drive of the game where just had a lot of room to run and could make plays happen.
A good patient run. That's right, Zach. He didn't hit the hole as hard as he could, but he just kind of waited it out, found the right hole to find the end zone, and Caden Spies got in. Now for the 2-point conversion, finally Thousand Islands breaks through. That's a successful attempt from Thomas Bernhard. So now Thousand Islands has some momentum. They put up the first points of the second half. They got the block punt, and Thousand Islands will take the lead 20-16.
Yeah, and it almost felt like a need to score there. You got the ball at the opponent's 10-yard line. It feels like you have to score.
Yeah, that would have been demoralizing if they get a turnover or a turnover on downs. I mean, that's a tough pill to swallow, especially having the opportunity to take the lead in the third quarter. So Thousand Islands now will send it away. We'll see if they do an onside kick or if they opt to send it deep. We did have a theory before. When they're down or even, they onside. And when they have the lead, they send it deep.
I think it's actually the opposite. I think if they have the lead, that's when they onside.
Well, we'll see what they do here.
I think when they have the lead, there's less risk in onside kicking it. Let's see if they fake this one.
Well, a little fake here, a little deke.
On the first kickoff, they actually went with that formation right there.
And they are going to go onside kick. It's loose. Bodies everywhere. Does Thousand Islands have it? They think they do, and the official closest to the ball says they do. That's another successful onside kick attempt for the Thousand Islands Vikings, and now they are rolling in the third quarter. At the approaching the 5-minute mark, they steal a possession, and we'll see if they can tack on some more points.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of luck on onside kicks, but that ball is kicked perfectly so many times in this onside kick they do. That just gives enough height on the ball for them to rush for it. Makes it tough for the defenders to even, or the hands team in this case, to put a finger on it.
Yeah, South Louis did have the first crack at it. The ball did travel far enough for a man on the hands team to try to get his mitts on it to corral possession, but it still knocked off his hands and became a fumble, a loose ball, and Thousand Islands was able to get on top of it. Thomas Bernhard making him pay on the first play on this stolen possession. And that's a big rush for, I'd say, pretty close to about 30, 35 yards maybe.
I believe you're right.
About 25.
That was just a good start to this drive, and it looks like Thousand
You
Islands.
really want to.
I want to say
you want to
River.
be in Philadelphia tonight, don't you?
Caught myself that time. Thousand Islands getting a good run game going now that they didn't have in that second quarter.
Yeah, it's Bernhard that's really the man that's making the defense pay. Remember, we talked about him in the pregame. He leads the team in passing. Obviously, he's their quarterback. He has over 1,000 yards on the year. But he's also leading the team in rushing. Before tonight's contest, he had 744 yards on the field and around the year. And tonight, he has done a great job of just making the defense pay. Handing the ball off, it's a similar play to their last scoring attempt. That was Caden Spies, who got pretty close to first down, and he definitely got there. We'll see if there's enough room. Oh, they have the ball placed at about the 6-yard line, so it's first and goal here for the Vikings.
Yeah, it feels like the Vikings just have everything going for them right now.
First and goal as we approach the 4-minute mark. 20-16 is the score, with Thousand Islands threatening to score again. Bernhard going to try the left side. Multiple Falcons in there for the stop, but a good first down play. I looked like that was Carter Burgoyes in for the stop here for South Louis. And now Thousand Islands will try their second down attempt.
TA can find their way in this end zone. That'll be the first 2-possession lead of the game.
Second and goal. They need about 4 yards as they send Bryant in motion. Handoff once again to Caden Spies. He's going to be close. And it looks like they are going to say he was short.
Refs getting together here real quick. Oh, flag on the field.
Ah, yes. I'm watching through the monitor. I'm cheating a little bit. We're so far away from that side of the field, so I was cheating a little bit on the monitor. Didn't see the flag down. So, look, I think they called a false start there, so they let the play go on.
I feel like after a false start, that kind of
probably should have blown that play dead. But regardless, we got second down, and looks like maybe it's at the 9-yard line. Sitting right on the line. Let's call it second and 10, second and goal.
Very wide formation this time.
Quarterback keeper right up the middle. Great solo tackle in the middle of the field. That was Aiden Simons.
Spread out the defense wide and decided to go up the middle. Good play by the defense there to win that one-on-one.
So now we have third and goal as we're underneath the 3-minute mark. So pretty much this entire third quarter, the ball has been in possession of the Vikings. That's exactly what you want here if you're the home team. I've not seen South Louis possess the ball much.
That's going to be some sort of false start.
It's either false start or illegal formation. Oh, they do have a false start there.
So many people moving at
once. You can't have all that movement, yes, especially laterally or north-south. You have two people east to west. It's also a flag, but a different flag.
This is sort of what we saw in the first half as well. It's penalties killing drives for Thousand Islands.
Exactly. You get down within this, first or second and goal, and you think that Thousand Islands is moving the ball down the field and they have something cooking, but their drives have been bogging down here. We'll see if they get over the hump again. Run to the right, and a pass. Looked like he was open on the right side, but just didn't have enough juice on it.
I don't know if I saw anybody in the backfield there, but it seemed like that play was rushed a lot, so I have to imagine there was somebody.
So now we got fourth down. Pass attempt to the left side, deep into the end zone. Did they catch it?
Thousand Islands, both teams celebrating.
Both teams are celebrating. I don't see a motion yet, though. I don't see a signal. I don't believe he came up with it. So now, yes, the Falcons did successfully block that pass attempt. So it's going to be first down for South Louis. A big stop for the away team, as Thousand Islands really could have put a hurting on them and make this a two-score game.
That play was very similar to what we saw in the first half, of a deep ball right in the back of the end zone. First half that was caught, second half not.
First down run was stuffed at the line of scrimmage, and it's going to bring up about 2nd and 10.
Well, Falcons put together a good defensive stop there, giving their offense a chance to get them back in the lead.
I feel like this third quarter has just flown by. We're approaching the 1 minute mark. South Louis deep into their own, close to their own end zone.
There goes Thousand Islands again. I believe they jumped.
Yeah, there's a lot of motion there. And they are going to call that one on the defense. So give them a free 5 yards.
Don't have the stats in front of me, but if I had to guess, I think Thousand Islands have had the most penalty yards in the game.
It's got to be almost double, I think. Handoff up the middle. Good defensive play by that interior defense for Thousand Islands. I believe that was Spies again.
Seems like the Falcons are okay letting this clock draw out a bit.
Yeah, they're not in any hurry. I mean, knowing it's only the third quarter. But definitely not any, urgency on this drive. Third down, they still got a ways to go. About 8 yards, I'd say. Looked like there was some movement before the snap. Regardless, an incomplete pass on the near side. Attempted for Simons. And it's going to be fourth down now. So they just had their last punt blocked. Now they got to try it again or go for it. Instead, they are going to go for a punt attempt.
I think you're just too close to even risk going for it. Got it
that
off.
One off the side of the foot, so not a great kick, but they did get it at least a little bit down the field. Looks like it went out of bounds at around the 31-yard line. So now Vikings are they're back in business yet again. They have great field position. We'll see if they can finally push through and make this a two-score game.
Had many times to capitalize. You definitely want to grab the lead as soon as possible.
We do have a chance to talk about one of our sponsors now, just a slight chance. Bob Johnson, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, new or used, it does not matter. Bob Johnson's got your ride. $5 car wash on Fridays. That's Bob Johnson's. Up the middle for Thousand Islands. That's going to be a first down. And now we're back into that territory where the drives start to stall for the home team. That will be a first down. That's going to be inside the 20-yard line. Let's call it conservatively around the 18 is where the ball has come to rest. And that should be the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, coach is waving down here, just telling him to hold it.
And that will be the end of the third quarter. Thousand Islands 20-16 And this is exactly where Thousand Islands wants to be. Leading going into the final quarter of play. Coming into this matchup as the underdogs. Now, I wouldn't say huge underdogs. I mean, I think South Louis is 4-3, Thousand Islands 3-4. Big playoff or big matchup that determines some playoff seedings and some playoff outcomes. But this is exactly where you want to be. Knocking on the doorstep, almost there to go up 2 scores, and you have a 20-16 advantage.
Yeah, a touchdown here wouldn't put the game away, but it'd put you in a great spot.
Yeah, especially in 8-man football, right, where you can be more free with the pass game. Definitely, I wouldn't say 2 scores puts the game away at all, but I feel like that third quarter just flew by.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I mean, there was no big plays that ended up in touchdowns.
Just run after run after run. That clock continued to go.
I don't know how many pass attempts, but I know it's few.
So as we're in the intermission here, let me tell you about SRT Restaurant Solutions. Supplying chemical and paper products for restaurants, booster club, food stands, food trucks, and even if you are having your own party. They also specialize in hood and kitchen cleanings. Finally, a restaurant supply store here in Watertown. That's SRT Restaurant Solutions.
I mean, I don't think we've mentioned enough, but this field is absolutely beautiful. I mean, I'm looking over the concession stands there. Those purple lights just make it shine.
Yeah, I mean, this is I don't want to say it's an older turf field, but it was. It's got some miles on it. It's one of the first few that came to the North Country, and it's still just an incredibly looking turf field. The whole complex here, really well done. Love coming here, and the staff here are so just they cater to us. I mean, we're in a heated booth here at the end of October. I'm almost actually sweating.
It couldn't get much better than this.
We need some water, a mini fridge in here maybe. But no, I kid. But this is really a beautiful complex here, just outside of Cape Vincent, and a great facility for us to be here and live stream this game.
First down markers no longer a factor in this drive.
Yeah, it's going to be second and goal, I believe. The yardage marker did have third for a little bit, but I think it's switched now. It's second and goal.
Red zone been a trouble for Thousand Islands.
Screen pass to Spies. He reaches for the pylon. He should have got there, and he does. Touchdown for Thousand Islands. And that's going to be the first 2-score game that we've seen tonight. A big advantage for the home team. Let's see if they can tack on the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, that play looked like it was just going to end short. A nice dive there at the end. Pushed him over the line.
I mean, at first glance, it looked like he had, pretty much the full football over the end line. And it took some time for them to finally get together and call that a touchdown. And they came to the correct conclusion. 26-16 the score. And see if they can tack on 2 more. Big collision at the goal line. And that's going to be a successful 2-point conversion. Back-to-back successful 2-point conversions at that. After a couple failed conversions, Thomas Bernhard gets into the end zone. And that's a big score for the home team. Now they're up 28-16. And now the clock starts to become a factor here. You got to get 2 scores. Plenty of time. I'm not saying that South Louis is under immense pressure, but it does start to be a factor here.
Like we said, scores in 8-man football can ramp up quickly. So by no means are they out of it, but the way this game has been played so far, especially in that third quarter, the time ticks off pretty fast.
Folks, CCOM Credit Union. You can find them on Route 3 across from the Target Plaza for all your banking needs. They're really across the North Country, all over the place. CCOM Credit Union, they're a proud sponsor of tonight's live stream. In addition to Bob Johnson, who's with us, you see their logo on our score bug there. They're with us for all of our live streaming initiatives. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, new or used, it does not matter. Bob Johnson has your ride. $5 car wash on Fridays. So check them out every Friday. That's Bob Johnson's in Watertown. Thousand Islands tried to go for the onside kick there, didn't get it, and South Louis will now take possession on the opposite side of the field, or at least darn close to it. Actually, they're going to put it right at the 50.
I mean, this is a great spot if you're the Falcons. You got a short field ahead of you.
Yeah, I mean, half the field's already gone. And this would be a time where, you got some room to kind of stretch the defense. I mean, you have the ability now to throw a deep ball if you wanted to.
I mean, don't want to say you have to, but I don't think you can run the ball as much as you want to.
Pitch to the right side, nice juke move, and a big collision in the middle of the field. That was a good run by Carter Burgoyes.
Almost felt like a 3 or 4 yard gain at how much he gained there, but just got him back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Blake Frana was in there for the stop. It looked like maybe Seth Fulton maybe in there as well. So a lot of big bodies in there that collided right in the middle of the field and really went for no gain. Second down here. We're going to get a handoff, and now right up the middle, and he might be gone. That's Nolan Widrick. He will get there to the end zone. Now that's a big play for South Louis. That really changes the game. What was a 2-score game is now down to 1 score after a big handoff and a huge run for Nolan Widrick. 28-22, the score in the fourth quarter of play.
Feels like Thousand Islands was thinking like I was and didn't seem like a run was an option, just left a gap wide open.
Yeah, I was expecting them to kind of stretch the defense, right? You had a lot of room to maybe run a go route and just put some air under the ball and let your receiver make a play. That's not their style here in the second quarter of play, second half of play. But it totally worked out for them as they get the long rush.
I think he fumbled that right at the 1 yard line. Didn't quite get in.
Yeah, that's what I saw as well. So a non-successful point after attempt. And that is significant because that leaves it a 6-point game. So if South Louis scores again, doesn't get the 2-point conversion again, we're tied. If they get that 2-point conversion there, then their next score, if they hold TI, they could have taken the lead.
It's all going to come down to 2-point conversions or a touchdown.
Didn't you say at the start that you didn't think it was going to be, a 2-point conversion game?
I thought so once I saw everybody start going for it, but the way it's been working out, both teams have equally succeeded and failed 2-point conversions.
Both teams have absolutely battled tonight. They know what's on the line. They know the implications. They know what it means to for this season, for the outcome of this season, what possible implications for playoff and postseason play. So these two teams have battled. It's been a great game. It's been really fun to watch. It's been a great introduction for myself for 8-man football. And I think it's going to get that much better here as we're within 10 minutes left of the game. South Louis is going to try their onside kick, and I think TI was ready for it. A great play on the opposite side of the field by Joe Brown, who came up hobbling a little bit. He paid for it to fall on that ball, but he did a fantastic job retaining possession for the home team, and that's where Thousand Islands will now take possession for this chance underneath 10 minutes of play.
I did not see that one coming. South Louis has been kicking that all the way down.
I was so close to saying, hey, what are the odds that they pull out an onside kick here, at the end of this game, a surprise onside kick, and they ended up doing it. It was almost successful. I mean, it was right there. If that ball trickles away even slightly away from Joe Brown, they're right there to recover it.
Yeah, just way to put the hands on it. And that's all you have to do is just put your hands on it. Don't let it bounce a couple times because then you don't know where it's going to go.
Right, yeah. You got to play the ball. Don't let the ball play you. But you see that so much on every level of football, from Mighty Mites to varsity football to college to the pros. You get players that get a little froze. They don't attack the ball, and then the ball hits them, and it's a live ball, and hectic mayhem ensues. That was a great job by Brown to attack the ball, take possession, and keep possession for Thousand Islands. Third down now. It's calling it about 4, maybe 3.
Yeah, I'd have to assume there's going to see 2 more rushes here. Keep the clock running. I think you're pretty safe to get 1 or 2 yards each run. Get the first down and keep the clock going.
Yeah, like we talked about before, the clock is going to start to become a huge factor. We thought it was going to be, at least I thought it was going to be a little bit more of a factor on that last drive, but for South Louis, but it really only took, a minute or so for them to score, so it really didn't pan out to be that much of an issue.
That motion by Brian again. I got scared after seeing them the first half. It bounced off of him. I almost thought it was going to again.
There was a flag on this play, and looks like offsides on the offense. So they're not set up properly to start that play, and it's going to march the offense back 5 yards. Still going to stay third down, however, but it's going to be more around that 8-yard mark to try to pick up the first down.
That's the danger of running the motion. A lot of discipline's required to make sure everybody's set up straight after you've motioned. So, could be the factor of that penalty right there.
Clock's running. Just over 8 minutes. We're going to be underneath 8 at the end of this play. Quarterback keeper, good juke move. Get some open space, and he's going to be really close to a first down. Who would have thought that after how that play started? But it was a good individual effort by Thomas Bernhard, the sophomore, and he's very close to a first down. At least it's close enough to check it, I'd say. And maybe it is significantly short. 4th, and it's definitely not a full yard.
No, that's within inches. First contact on that play was behind the line of scrimmage. More yards after contact than there were yards on that play.
Surprised we don't see a quarterback sneak here. And here we go as he approaches the center. Bernhard, he did get forward progress, but I don't think he got enough. He's so close.
Almost like he fell over sideways.
You got to bring the chains out and check.
No, they're just going to signal it Falcons ball.
How do you not check at least, right? How do you not bring him out? Maybe that's against their protocol now to slow the game down and bring the chains out. I know it is a bit of a process, but is that not close enough to? Are you sure definitively it's not there?
I think that would have been a fair time to bring out the chains if there was one.
And the fact that it's such a pivotal play,
Doesn't seem like there's much argument coming from the sidelines, so.
Yeah, you're right. It definitely didn't look like they were protesting. It was more disappointment that they didn't make it. But we're a little off center here, so maybe it looks a little deceiving, but I would have at least wanted a check. Nonetheless, South Louis takes possession, and they have a chance to tie and or take the lead.
Burgoyne just looks big out there.
Yeah, he does, and he runs hard and he runs mean. Maybe not Camp Scatterboo mean, but he runs tough. You can see the defense isn't excited to get in there and make a solo tackle against him.
Wonder if Scadboo has any influence on any of these younger players.
I hope not. Handoff, a little misdirection, and T.I. was ready for a nice tackle by Seth Fulton.
I almost thought Widrick had a hole there.
Yeah, it was shaping up to be pretty similar to last drive, right, where they got that big run on a very similar play. Very smart play by Thousand Islands to stay home, know that ball is coming back the other way, and a huge tackle by Fulton.
I know that the Falcons' game plan has mostly been to run the ball, but I wonder if there's any point where the clock gets down low and you might just have to start airing it out.
Yeah, it's still a one-possession game, and so that kind of gives more freedom there for the offense. I think they're going to get a free 5 yards here as well.
Just not what you want to see.
No, and the coaching staff here for the home team just very disappointed. It was almost a synchronized take the headphones off at the same time and bow their heads. It was almost like they practiced the exact motion.
I mean, had him in a 3rd and long, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough stop here for TI. 3rd and 2 with the tight formation for the away team. High snap and handed off. It's definitely going to be a first down. Damian Koff gets the yardage.
Starting to see wide receivers go pretty deep down the field, so I wonder if they're getting ready for something big.
Trying to stretch it out a little bit. I mean, to your point, right? You're expecting them to maybe start to throw the ball. The fact that it's a one-possession game, I think it alleviates the pressure from South Louis to have to throw it. Now, if this was still a two-possession game, yeah, I think they'd be starting to throw the ball here and trying to take some chances. But I think they still have plenty of time, especially with runs like that, to stay to their game plan, to stick to their game plan, and continue to keep the ball on the ground, as Sampson was with the keeper there.
I mean, if the drive keeps going as it is now, this could be the last drive of the game.
It could be. They are moving the ball methodically, taking a lot of time off the clock. Has any team taken a timeout yet?
I have not seen
the entire
one.
game. I don't think they have. So eventually, that's got to start to be a factor. Handoff with some room to run. Good defensive tackle in open field.
Man, it almost seems like Woodrick has so much room there, but then it closes fast.
Right, I think that was Blake Frana with that individual tackle. That's a huge tackle right there. If he breaks that, he could have a lot of running room. Could still be running right now. But you're right, that play is set up so perfectly, and Woodrick does have some running room off that. But TI's done a great job of individual efforts and making solo tackles in open field.
Falcons just running it up the gut.
The clock will stop underneath 4 minutes. Like you said, they are not afraid of contact here on this drive. They are just begging for it, going right up the gut, right up the middle. Hard, tough-nosed running. And I think, this is where South Louis really wants TI. It's been a hard football game. They're at the end of the game, but South Louis looks like they're a little bit more fresh. They're a little bit more just have a little more speed out there right now than TI does. That, just to prove me wrong, and right after I put a period on that sentence, TI makes a huge defensive play and pushes South Louis back a few yards. That was a great team play there by the Vikings, and that's exactly what they needed to kind of put a damper on this drive a little bit.
I feel like South Louis kind of got away from themselves there, going for an outside pitch rather than a run up the middle.
Yeah, I understand the need to kind of change things up, but I'm with you there. Every time they ran a play up the middle, they at least fell forward for a few yards.
Only 3 minutes left in this game.
Tight formation.
And not again.
They did it again.
You got them in a 2nd long.
Man, they are just giving yards away here on penalties.
Now that first down stop feels more like a 3-yard rush. Not what you want to see. That penalty game has to be.
Oh yeah, it's got to be more than double the differential.
Getting the realm of triple at this point.
About 2.5 minutes to go. Tight formation, high snap. Handoff up the middle, some running room, and finally a team tackle. He does only get about a couple yards. I thought he might have had a little bit more distance to break it outside, but instead he opts to stay in the middle and picks up a couple. A few Vikings in on that tackle together. All right, that clock is starting to become a factor, right? I mean, I'm not crazy, right? I mean, they're not moving with a lot of speed and enthusiasm right now.
I think that clock started this drive at around 5 or 6 minutes. We're below 2 now. It's still 30 yards to go.
Yeah, 3rd and moderate here as the snap goes to the keeper, the quarterback, and he breaks free. A huge play for South Louis. Maxwell Sampson, and that changes the game. Ties it up 28-28 with the 2-point conversion to follow. Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
we're talking. I mean, I'm watching the move, and I'm like, they're not going fast enough. They're not going with enough pace and urgency. But just to prove me wrong, the next play, they take it 30 yards. And that is a backbreaker here for the Thousand Islands Vikings.
And there's the first timeout of the game.
Yeah, they wanted to see the personnel, I think, of what T.I. was going to throw out there, and now they're going to adapt the play to counteract it. And it does not get any bigger than this.
Yeah, I mean, that play looked like it was drawn up to just get 3 or 4 yards, but
yeah, and I'm with you too. It wasn't a home run play, you know, and Thousand Islands had to know it was coming because they ran that play pretty much that entire drive. It was either a handoff to Spies, or excuse me, a handoff to Widrick, I meant. It's either handoff to Widrick to the left side with a little misdirection. They used a little, like a pitch to Burgoyes a couple times. But other than that, it was Sampson or Widrick. Like, you knew it was coming.
I mean, it's kind of just the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and it might have, you might have hit the nail on the head right there. It might have just been, you know, just tough run after tough run after tough run after tough run. See, I started to get a little tired, started to get a little fatigued, and then finally they were able to break through.
Looks like my statement earlier about 2 points not mattering very much, it's going to come down to a 2-point play.
It is going to definitely here. Tie ball game 28-28. Minute 37 on the clock. The ball is going to be snapped, and a big stop for Thousand Islands. A huge play is going to keep this game tied. Widrick was the ball carrier, just did not have any room to make anything happen there. And now a minute 37, there's some time.
There's a lot of time with how many big plays we've seen this game.
3 timeouts for Thousand Islands.
Thousand Islands not a team that's scared to throw the ball either. I think we see a couple of shots deep here.
I mean, I think you have to, especially with just, you know, with a minute 37. But the problem is, as we've seen, South Louis kicks the ball deep. I think they will here as well. I can't imagine them trying the onside kick and then giving the ball at the 50. That, you know, I just don't think that would be the smartest play. But if it works, it works.
It'd be a gutsy one.
It would be gutsy. That'd be a Dan Campbell-esque type play. But if they're going to send it deep, you know, if you do throw for it and you get picked off, you know, now you're setting up South Louis for a chance to score. So, I mean, it's a catch-22 all over the place. They will send it deep, and it's going towards the sideline and out of play.
Don't know if the same out-of-bounds rule applies for 8-on-8. That it does.
It does not appear it's the same rule set. It looks like they're well, no, now they're moving it up the field. They were spotting at the 20, and now they are spotting it at the 35.
Seems like it still does.
Looks like they're an explanation here to the coaching staff for Thousand Islands. They're getting ready to snap the ball, but the officials are not in position. So this might have been a little premature here.
Yeah.
Again, they're excited for this fourth quarter possible winning drive.
Seems like
it looks like the coaches were asking for clarification that they thought the ball should be further up the field.
I think that's what Thousand Islands are bargaining for, but they're going to
keep the ball at the 35. So here we go. Minute 37, and Thousand Islands has the ball. Tie game with 3 timeouts. Hitch route to the near side. Trying to get out of bounds, he will not. That was number 5, Bryant, on the near side, and the clock will run. Got to go quick here.
Thousand Islands have no willingness to run the ball. I'm dropping back a lot of players here if I'm the Falcons.
Yeah, I would too. Trying to go to the near side again. This time they are going to get out of bounds. That was a good hitch route yet again. Pretty much same exact play to Cole Bryant, the freshman. And that will stop the clock with just over a minute to play at all ones on the board. And 3 timeouts remaining for Thousand Islands.
It does seem like the prevent defense is coming out from the Falcons, and that TI is just grabbing these shorter, out-of-bounds passes until they can get further up the field.
Now they're going to try to go deep, and I believe that's going to be an interception. There's a flag on the play.
I'd have to imagine that's offensive pass interference.
There was a lot of pushing and shoving. I don't know if I would have called a flag there. I mean, I don't think that's a bad call. I think I would have just let it play on. Pass interference on the defense. A huge call. I mean, I thought both were jockeying for position equally.
It felt like they were.
And that changes everything with just over a minute to play.
That is a huge break for TI.
Right. I'm not saying that was a bad call. I'm just saying it was a huge call. I mean,
absolutely.
It could have gone either way there. And the fact of the matter was it takes an interception off the board and TI moves the ball way up the field. They're not within the 40-yard mark, and it's going to be a quarterback keeper up the middle getting a lot of yards with some space to run on the near side. That's going to be Bernhard. And I don't think he gets out of bounds. There should be some timeouts that the Vikings have. I think I would take one here.
I think the coach is calling one.
They did get one. Okay.
They still had the time to get the yardage markers down the field, but that wasn't going to give them too much time. 54 seconds left.
I got to say, if I'm TI, I like the spot that they're in. 20 yards to go, less than a minute to get there. They have a couple timeouts to use.
I mean, this is the spot to be in. You'd rather have the ball with 54 seconds left than be on the defense here.
I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to run through our sponsors, so let me just do all three of them real quick here. SRT Restaurant Solutions, finally a restaurant supply store here in Watertown. Call them at 315-767-0160. Also, CCOM Credit Union on Route 3 across from the Target Plaza for all your banking needs. And, as everyone knows, Bob Johnson's Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram right there in Watertown. Flag on the play.
Ball wasn't even snapped. It seemed like it was stuck at the line.
Yeah, that was odd. Got to be on the offense.
Yeah, it seems like the ball was almost snapped as if it was a under center play rather than a shotgun.
Yeah, odd play there. It doesn't really, I really don't think it changes anything here for TI. I mean, it makes the ensuing first down a little bit further, but you're going for the end zone here. One man in motion, and it's going to be TI with a quarterback keeper. That's Bernhard, and he's going to get a lot of yards back there, probably about 10 yards on the keeper, pretty close to at least. It's going to be about 2nd and 5. 45 seconds.
I believe Thousand Islands calling their last timeout, if I'm correct.
They might have one more, I believe. I think the South Louis took that initial timeout on the other end of the field there, and I think TI still has one.
That could be correct. It's one thing we're missing here on the scoreboard.
Yes, yeah. A lot of schools do keep track of the timeouts left on the in the game scoreboard at the facility. Some also have, yardage and distance and all that. TI has the score, the quarter, and the time. All you need. That's definitely all you need.
That's the core. That's the core three.
Yes. For 45 seconds, a man in motion for TI. Rolling to the right is Bernhard, and an incomplete pass.
I've seen that play about 3 or 4 times from TI, and I don't think it's worked once. It seems like the rollout gets stopped pretty quickly.
Yeah. I mean, not to say you got to abandon it from your playbook, but I'm with you. The success rate, it wouldn't be one of my top plays here to win a game.
I mean, I guess if you're going for the sidelines with only 42 seconds left, that's probably one of your best bets.
Crucial play, 42 seconds. Bernhard trying to get it himself, and I don't think he got there.
I think he was just before the 10-yard line,
yeah.
So it would be short.
I don't, man, maybe he thought he was a little bit further down the field. would have liked to have seen him kind of put his shoulder pads down and try to get a couple more yards and get closer.
I think maybe he was worried about getting out of bounds.
Maybe. Yeah, it's definitely a factor. Smart play to stop that clock, but I still think he might have been able to get out of bounds and maybe pick up another tough yard.
I think now you just got to be worried about the first down.
I think so as well. You still have a timeout in your pocket, I believe. Slow developing play for T.I. A pass, fake, and incomplete.
And that will be a turnover on downs.
So we could be heading straight to overtime here.
I think the Falcons might opt to do that.
If I'm South Louis, yeah, I'm taking a knee and we're going to overtime.
I don't know if I'd take a knee. I might try to break off one more run.
Well,
it feels like you're pretty safe. I don't feel like.
Yeah, they haven't been dropping the ball and fumbling like crazy. So
their run game seems to be their strength. So I feel like handing it off once or twice might not hurt.
Yeah, this would be an absolute devastating play if South Louis runs for a touchdown here after a hard-fought game here for T.I. And they will knee. Right off the bat, I thought, they're gonna knee. They're going to just take this into overtime. But you kind of convinced me on that they should have at least tried one or two runs up the field. But regardless, got the end of the game and going into overtime.
What a better way to decide the home team for the playoffs than an overtime game on senior night.
What did you think of that last play for Thousand Islands on the fourth down?
I think it was another rollout, a designed rollout that just hasn't been working very well.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would have. I think they had the right idea. Keep the ball in the hands of Bernhard. He's been able to pick up the tough yards all game long, and especially on that drive. I think they would have been better served to just keep it as a quarterback keeper and let him just run north-south.
I think the pocket's been pretty well protected. When you roll out, that lets those defensive ends just collapse on the quarterback, and Bernhardt not able to maneuver as much as he would have with a healthy pocket.
So as Faith would have it, we do have a chance to talk about our sponsors again. Let me talk about SRT Restaurant Solutions. They clean kitchens, full shelves, better prices. That's SRT Restaurant Solutions. Supplying chemical and paper products for restaurants, booster club, food stands, food trucks, and even if you're having a party. Watertown's one-stop restaurant shop, SRT Chemical Solutions, located in Northland Plaza behind Kinney Drugs. Call them today, 315-767-0160. Also, CCOM Credit Union. They are on Route 3 across from the Target Plaza for all your banking needs. You can find CCOM locations across the North Country, but that's their Watertown location. And obviously for all your banking needs, it's CCOM Credit Union. And Bob Johnson. Cannot thank Bob Johnson enough. Really can't thank all of our sponsors enough, but Bob Johnson is the group that has really supported this entire organization, this entire initiative here at NBC Watertown. Friday Night Lights here, streaming on the website and with a couple games on a broadcast. But Bob Johnson has been there since the start of the season. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. New and used, it does not matter. Bob Johnson has your ride. They also have $5 car washes on Fridays. So check them out. Bob Johnson's are right there in the that whole grouping of car dealerships on Outer Washington Street. Bob Johnson's.
Here we've got our second overtime game of the year. Maybe third. I was absent for a couple games. So from what I remember, at least an 11-man, this works very similar to college football.
Yes, I believe so as well. I got to imagine 8-man is going to follow a similar format. Let's just talk about that real quick as we have a chance to kind of debrief. What a schedule you guys have picked and NBC Watertown's put together. I mean, the games that you guys are broadcasting and live streaming. General Brown's Lowville was an absolute thriller. Carthage, Indian River. Both games were on broadcast, and both games were fantastic games that went right down to the wire. You had a rivalry game in Carthage, Watertown. I mean, you're putting together just incredible matchups this year. I know going into it at the start, you don't always know how it's going to shape up. Sometimes you pick a game that might be the best matchup or might be a school that you don't get to very often. It turns out to be not an interesting contest. But your schedule this year has just been phenomenal.
Absolutely right. The schedule has worked out perfectly this year. I mean, every year that's what we aim to do is pick the best matchups, try to get to every school once, maybe twice, depending on how the schedule lines up. And you just hope the games are good. You try to schedule it that way. And this year, more than any other year, every game feels like it's come down to the fourth quarter. It feels like every team's been in it no matter what situation it's been. And that's what you hope for, and that's what you love to see out of high school football.
And let's give a quick plug for this entire initiative here on NBC Watertown for the live streaming. As soon as football wraps up, obviously we have more games. We got some postseason opportunities, but basketball right on the doorstep as well. So, NBC Watertown, just, a commitment for all sorts of high school sports. We're in the overtime here for this matchup, South Louis and TI. You'll notice no time on the clock, so these are untimed downs. And like Zach had alluded to, it's pretty similar to college type of format here.
Yeah, and you love to be the second team on offense, get to see what the offense does ahead of you, and make your play call based on that.
Yeah, certainly at the college level. At this level, it doesn't change anything, right? Both teams are just going for the touchdown.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I can't imagine after everything we've been through here tonight that if South Louis gets stopped, that TI will set up for a field goal at any point. But the name of the game is put the ball in the end zone here, I think, and right now South Louis is going backwards.
It's good that you mentioned that. I'm starting to think the opposite now. Maybe not as much pressure on the first team.
Yeah, if you don't get it into the end zone,
your defense can still make a stop.
Yeah, you're still in the ball game. But if South Louis scores, TI is the one that's got to go. Oh boy, we really need to get in here. Good defensive play on the opposite or on the near side.
Seemed like a little bit of grabbing there, but neither ref calling anything. I think that's how it should be here late in the game.
I am 100% with you. I think that was a really good no call here by this officiating crew, which I think the crew's done a good job tonight. As a team there, putting keeping this game pretty fair, and they've made some pretty good calls tonight, I'd say.
Yeah, Thousand Islands been called for a lot, but Coach never really argued any of the penalties. Mostly been.
That's key for me. Yeah, I'm right with you, Zach. Especially as I do a little bit of officiating myself, you get a lot of calls in a game. But the key is, are the coaches mad at the calls? Or are they mad at their team? And so far, I think they've done a pretty good job of not being upset at the officials there. That fourth down pass incomplete, and that's a big stop for the home team.
Gate is open. Chance to win the game right here. I do like how they stay on the same side of the field for this scrimmage.
That'd be kind of funny to watch them walk all the way.
I think I've seen that in college a few times when team misses one, you watch them walk 80 yards to the other side for a quick 4 downs.
So now to your point, Zach, about maybe opting to have the ball first. This would be the opposing viewpoint to it, right? Because now really TI does not have any pressure whatsoever.
No, now you just get a chance to
put
the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, handoff up the middle to Caden Spies.
Yeah, your defense got the job done. Now all you have to do is draw a quick series of play, but Thousand Islands has struggled this close to the end zone in the past.
Right, yeah. So this format maybe not the most beneficial here for TI, as we talked about. They kind of bog down into the when they get closer to the end zone. They have more success when they have more yards to go and have more the field available. Quarterback keeper into the right side.
Got the first.
I think that's the first down, and you really like where TI is now. I just don't see them differing. You got to at least put the ball in Bernhardt's hands 3 times at least here, 3 out of 4 times.
If I'm the
If
coach,
you
I'm
need
putting
it?
it 4 times.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't see them getting away from Bernhardt here. I wouldn't.
Just looking at his yards in the season, it seems like that's the guy that you go with.
You always say, put the ball in the hands of your playmakers, put the ball in the hands of your seniors. But Thomas Bernhardt's playing like a senior tonight despite being a sophomore. Alone by himself here. It's going to keep it himself. Trying the left side. He jukes. And I think the ball's out. The ball's out, and South Louis recovers. Whoa! A big play.
Goal line.
Wow, that changes a lot here.
That is the last thing that you wanted to happen. Getting stopped is one thing. You get a couple more plays, but losing the ball.
Well, we just talked about Bernhardt playing like a senior despite being a sophomore. That was, unfortunately, a sophomore-type play. Got to have 2 hands on the ball and keep possession there. It's too critical. That's the most essential part of this game is holding on to the ball.
Now, I didn't have the best angle at it, but if he tried to reach there for a touchdown, that would have been the mistake not to make.
Yeah. It was in that realm there. I don't think he reached. I think it was just a good strip. And just like in college, I think you switch who starts first. So I believe now T.I. has to regroup.
That's tough.
And then now try to put the ball in the end zone here. Really a disadvantage here for the home team.
Yeah, you just had a almost guaranteed touchdown taken away by a strip fumble. And that snap a little bit low.
Got some running room. Inside the 15-yard line is Bernhard. He's played a fantastic game tonight, Thomas Bernhard has. I don't have the exact stats in front of me, but a field general here for the Vikings facilitating this offense. He's stepped up big when they've called his number, whether to pass or throw. So don't be deterred by that play. That's he's really played just a fantastic ball game tonight. Handoff to the left side with some room to move forward, pretty close to the 10-yard line. I think just shy, probably close to the 11-yard line. That was Spies.
Third down, if I'm them, I'm running that QB sneak, getting the first down.
Yeah, I mean, you run it twice, right? I mean, if you get stopped the first time, you go back to it. I mean, there's no way they stop it twice in a row.
Going on shotgun, though.
And 1 man in motion, and they're going to try to left side. There's some running room here. They got the first down, still on his feet, pretty close to about the 7-yard line, I'd say. That was Bernhard keeping it himself, and T.I. threatening again.
Well, this is where they were at before, about the same yard mark. 4 downs, refresh. Want to get in the end zone here, and then 2-point conversion becomes a major factor in this point.
Bernhard by himself. He's going to keep it himself. He's moving forward to about the 5-yard line. I think they're going to have him just a little bit shy, probably closer to the 6-yard line. A nice solo tackle in the middle of the field by Robert Daly, and remains, it's now going to be 2nd down and goal.
Almost looked like Bernhardt was by him, but he able to get that arm out while engaged with the block.
Right, that's a tough tackle. When the offensive player is behind you, it's pure strength and pure will to get him down, and that's exactly what happened there. Bernhard now keeping himself again, trying the left side behind some blockers. Stiff arm, reaches, and just shy.
I mean, I have to believe I know what's coming here.
I mean, I just don't see how you don't go with a quarterback keeper with Bernhard. It's in that territory for the sneak. I mean,
it looks like it's just gonna be a keeper, though.
Well, they have set up like this before. It's going to be a shotgun, and then he charges to take the snap under center. I don't think it's going to happen here. Quarterback keeper, and he finds running room. He gets there for a touchdown. And it's funny, not a lot of excitement from the TI players. The fan base going crazy. They do have the lead now. They will have to get a stop here against South Louis will have one more possession. TI does get to go for 2, remember. So that could differentiate the score here as well.
Yeah, both offenses very able to score. TI knows the job's not done yet. They need this 2-point conversion.
Going back to the quarterback again. He's in. And that's another successful play for Thomas Bernhardt. TI has figured out what works here in offense. Give the ball to Bernhardt.
Give it to Bernhardt.
If you didn't have that unfortunate play where he got stripped, it could be end of the game here.
Yeah, I think that's maybe where the excitement died out.
I think so. Is that they kind of feel like they should be, heading to the exits.
But if TI defense here has to feel great. You cannot lose the game on this series.
No matter what happens, you cannot lose on this possession.
Now the Falcons know the game comes down to this. Not only do you have to get in the end zone once, but twice.
Twice, yes.
We'll see this sort of bunch formation.
Snap is high, and a screen play defended pretty well by the Vikings as they're trying to get him down.
Fumble.
Is the ball on the ground? Is the ball on the ground?
See what
I think it went out of bounds, actually. It's on the near side. TI says they have it.
The referee's going to...
They're going to confer. They're going to talk about it a little bit. I think the ball went out of bounds.
Yes, I think that's what the call is as well. It was pretty close. That line ball came out. He was trying to fight for too many yards.
Yeah, a member of the secondary for Thousand Islands was holding onto the ball saying, I have it, but I think he was just a little bit too far across that blue line. And now South Louis gets to retain possession. Quarterback keeper up the middle towards the end zone and dragged down. That was Sampson on the keeper and Fulton on the stop. That should be darn close to a first down, and I think it is. So 1st and goal here for South Louis, and 2 good plays netting some positive yards here.
Yeah, this looks a lot better than the first overtime attempt. The offense just gaining 3 yards at a time. It's kind of how they played this whole game in these 3- and 4-yard plays.
1st and goal, Sampson takes a snap. He's got 2 hands on the ball as he charges forward. Thousand Islands stripping at it, trying to get it out. And the play was blown dead way before the ball came out. So that's going to be a first down stop for TI. It'll be 2nd down. It was a good try by Blake Frana. He jumped on it thinking he had it, but play blown dead way before the ball came loose.
And if you're the Falcons here, you want to make sure you have 3 hands on the ball if possible.
You just saw what happened with on the opposition, knocking on the door and then a devastating fumble. TI looks to have kind of overcome that here so far, but it could happen to South Louis here, and that would be devastating as well. Sampson with a running back to his right. He gets the snap, and he's going to charge to the right. Juke to the left, charging towards the pylon.
Think that's good.
I don't think he got there. His body was in the end zone, but I think they twirled him around to stop him mere inches from that goal line.
That ball, if you sneezed on it, I think could be over.
I was with you initially, Zach, where I thought, there's no way he's not in, but I think, his body was in, but he just didn't get the ball over. Still a good play by Sampson, though, because they're probably just going to quarterback sneak, and I don't think there's any way you stop him here. Oh, is there a false start, though?
Looks like it.
Ooh,
Flags out.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Not a huge deal here for South Louis. That does change a lot, and I don't think there was any way that TI was going to stop a quarterback sneak, but still, this entire overtime drive here, South Louis has not been stopped on really any run play. They get positive yards every time.
If you're TI here, do you bank on a run play and just send everyone?
Gotta. If they beat you by a pass over the top, then so be it.
Ooh.
Oh, Oh, big play from T.I. A huge defensive stop by Blake Frana, and that's going to be bring up 4th down.
And long. They lost about 6 yards on that play.
They called Widrick's name, which has been a good idea pretty much all night, but that time T.I. just stayed home, figured that play out quickly, and now that false start really changes things. I was thinking, if on the 3rd down play, if South Louis, gets right up, gets a touchdown there, doesn't change anything, gets positive yards, really doesn't change much, but now, here we go.
And they banked on that run, just as you said to. Now it's almost assuredly going to be a pass.
I don't know if it's assuredly. I mean, it's still, you got to go a ways, but Sampson's had some pretty successful runs on this drive. He's going to roll to the left. The lefty throws it back to the other side of the field. Caught, and I don't think he got there. That's going to be the ball game. Thousand Islands is going to pull off the upset, 36-28 in overtime. And just an incredible ball game that you saw right here on NBCWatertown.com.
Just what an ending. Came down to just 1 or 2 yards. I think he got the haul in.
I think he got the catch. I think that was a good play call. I think it was a good play attempt. I think they did complete the catch, but just did not get to the pylon. So good call there from our color commentator who said, it's going to be a pass. I thought they might stay with Sampson, keep it on the ground and just, try to get to that end zone. Regardless, big defensive stop. And that last drive there was the absolute epitome of what we talked about this entire game. Don't make penalties. And, unfortunately, South Louis fought very hard throughout this entire game, played a great ball game. They played pretty penalty-less football pretty much the whole game. It was just that last drive, a little bit of lost some focus there, and unfortunately it pushed them back a little bit, and they weren't able to overcome. But definitely that game was not won or lost on that penalty. It would definitely that's not the case here. But I don't see a scenario where T.I. makes that stop there without that penalty.
Yeah, 3rd and inches. I don't know if there was an inch. But, yeah, that was just a tough played game, but that defense showed up when it needed to.
So some implications here now for the postseason as T.I. will have the advantage over South Louis for a possible home seed advantage matchup there. Do want to shout out our sponsors really quick before we log off. Bob Johnson Auto Group, fantastic sponsor who's been with us from the start here this season. SRT Restaurant Solutions and CCOM Credit Union. Zach, do you have any closing thoughts?
I mean, we just witnessed another great game on the schedule. We will be back for one more playoff game. It's not been decided yet, but once we do, we will let that known on our website.
Yeah, so ready for some postseason play here on NBC Watertown. 36-28 the score as we sign off here from Cape Vincent, New York. Tyler Clevens, the play-by-play, and Zach Zabriskie as well, and all of our crew here doing a fantastic job running the camera, switching the shots here. A fantastic production tonight. We'll see you next week for some more postseason football. Have a great night. Have a great weekend, folks.